new.
Well, okay, so let me because I will forget this part. Let me see. Okay, that. All right, they can hear us. Uh,
Oh, chat.
so uh, I feel like so it was this new one's a concept album. It's like him battling is Slim Shady versus like Marshall Mathers, kind of going at it a little bit, and it kind of culminates to like him doing that. But it someone described it, and I think it's actually kind of apt. It's Eminem's Mr. Morale.
I can see that. I just feel like it's like maybe 10 years too late.
Which, but then see, I don't know if I agree with that because his 10 years too late thing was him when he became angry, not afraid M, where he's like, all right, I'm doing this, and he became kind of poppy, which everyone was like kind of fucked with for a while, but then that kind of got old.
I guess the way I'd phrase it is the whole Slim Shady shtick is that old. Not necessarily Eminem. I feel like we're kind of past that,
Okay,
and the fact that he's going back is kind of like a nostalgia grab for people. I
and,
feel
and
like the
it is.
people that grew up with that and love that, they're gonna love this. They're gonna eat it up.
Mm,
The people that have grown up and don't look back as fondly on that music aren't gonna like it, and that's probably where I'm at because I
okay,
look back and I'm like, yeah, a lot of this is really cringy. Just a lot of it's not listenable to me for me. Besides certain songs, like of course, shit like Stan. That's gonna be one that kind of stands
so
out.
let me give
And
you two songs out there that you'll maybe two or three. I'll give you two for sure. Two surefires that I'm sure you'll like. Putting it in here. Fuel, I think, is the best one. It's just hard. Like he does do some of the Eminem stuff, but uh, like the let me read off part of it here. And I think this part actually I was into it, and I think Jid is fucking awesome on it. What's up, Paper Runny?
yo,
These nuts. That's what's up.
You got him.
got him. Get wrecked, dog. Come correct next
Although,
time.
speaking of what's up, while Adrian is doing that, uh, I don't know if you followed any recent wrestling stuff, Kels, but truly, some of Ron Truth's best work has been in the last year. Absolutely have loved what he did with the Judgment Day.
I've been
And
an
this,
R-Truther since the start, dog. Whenever he first made his debut in WWE, and even before that in TNA, I've been a big fan.
well, he originally was in WWE, so he
Yeah.
started in WWE as a jobber called K Quick. And then he, much like AJ Styles was a jobber in WWE as well. Then they both went to TNA, were allowed to actually be themselves and amazing wrestlers, which I agree. Fucking those TNA runs were amazing. But truly, his run with the Judgment Day, has been some of the most comedic shit around. Holy fuck.
Everyone said, "How dare you, David? That was dirty." All right. So on fuel, this I thought this was a solid. Like, all right, that was. I'll give you that one. Was let's see. I suggest they do not test me like an essay, because like where my homies out west stay, we can just say I'm like an RAPER. Got so many essays. Wait, he didn't just spell out the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? R.I.P. Rest in peace, Biggie and Pac. Both of y'all should be still living, but I ain't trying to beef with them because he might put a hit on me. Like Keefy D, get him. And I was like, all right, I'm okay with the solid P Diddy bar. That I was like, oh, I see what you did there. I fuck with that one. The second one I put in there is Temporary. That is a really actually one of his most like gorgeous songs, I think, where it's like it just him. It's kind of the tried and true Eminem formula. He's rapping to Haley, and he's made a song about when he passes away. This is kind of like his song to be like, here, that's what you're gonna play when I die. And I think that one's a really really good gorgeous song. I think you kind of nailed it. If you don't have a nostalgia for that time, you're right. You won't really quite care. Let me see. Let me fix this. Let me see if this is gonna work. Camera's still off, so I'm gonna fix that. It's gonna
I think
come
it's
back afterwards. Which
there is like a fine line though between having a nostalgia for the time and still being kind of stuck in that time.
I don't think he's stuck in that time though, because he's been trying to get out that time. I think what the issue is that people everyone else is hungry for that time, so he feels kind of obligated to go back to that time, which actually the a lot of what that album's about. Let's see, where's my cam at now? No, that's not it. The whole album culminates to Guilty Conscience 2, which if you've ever heard the first one, it's just it's a song about 3 different scenarios where someone's gonna do something really fucked up, and kind of they're conscious about just kind of fighting back with them. The whole album is a concept album that works to that song, which is Eminem and Marshall just directly rapping at each other, and I thought that was actually it felt like a therapy thing, but like in Eminem fashion, right? Like yeah, Mr. Morale is Kendrick's way of being like, all right, let me get everything out that I've been saying, but that one was very much therapy in his way. But he did come out and I think he was pretty honest, but I think the track was also killer too. I fuck with it. Also, I'm gonna give that streams because I think Taylor Swift's been number 1 on the charts for like 10 weeks now. I think she's about to debunk Stevie Wonder's what was it?
Meanwhile, I think my dudes in Knocked Loose have been up there for quite a bit too.
Stevie Wonder. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Taylor Swift's The Tortured Poets Department is expected to not rank at number 1 for the first time in its run after 12 weeks. It was 1 week from tying Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life for the longest run at number 1 in debut in history. I want Stevie Wonder to keep that though. That was great.
Why? He's not gonna be able to see it.
Got him.
Got him.
All right, calm
Also,
down, Eminem.
One last thing to tie into wrestling, because you just keep giving me these layups. Shout outs to Joe Hendry for having a surprise number 1 charting song, because he did the stupid thing and posted his song on a Monday when no one else was putting shit up.
Does anyone here watch RDC World?
I have no idea what
I
that
know who
is.
you're talking about, but I don't watch them.
Have you seen the skits they did on the whole beef?
No.
Okay, hold up.
Remember when John Cena went platinum?
Thug life.
Before we
It's
start
the
podcast,
basic thugonomics.
I want us to watch 2 videos. I think I've been watching them. They're funny. I want to watch these, and then we'll get the podcast after that. Let me know when you guys are doing that.
This is the podcast. What are you talking about?
Wait, we're recording?
We're not recording.
You're recording.
We're live. April can hear us and critique our every move.
No, this is basically the podcast now. We just
Sure.
fuck around and find out.
This is true. Let me know when you guys have that up.
I have it up.
Have it up.
All right. Come on. All right. And then play on 3. 1, 2, 3, play.
This shit that for real, man. Yo, my hair is the beef. Look at that Pusha P. Let me see you push a T.
What? Pusha T? That shit lame as fuck.
He's tearing some red. How would you see 2 bad bitches?
2 bad bitches?
Like women, it's real competition. You might pop ass with them. Let's get
Dude, pop ass was
I'll make sure hot double back with you.
Come on, stupid.
Nigga that says he was signed to a bad
It's Ghost Riders, David.
Cease and desist on the like that record. We don't wanna hear you say nigga no more.
Dude, I'm black. I'm black. What is he talking about? I'm black.
He just keeps saying it. I'm black.
That shit was lame as fuck. Hey, where y'all going? Where y'all going? Oh, y'all scared? Oh, fuck it, man. We don't need them, man. This lame ass diss, man. How are people listening to this? This don't deserve a response, right? You know what? Take a picture of me. I'm about to respond with an Instagram caption. You can't take that. I mean, what should I say? There's so many out there.
The facial expressions.
Do that, bro.
Oh, what you thinking? What should I say? An Instagram story or a photo dump? A photo dump, that'll get them going for real. What? What's that? What is that?
Bro, that's the only way, bro.
Come on, put that away, Brody. We don't need that.
That nigga rapping, bro.
Come on, you don't believe in me?
Rapping, bro.
What's going on with you?
I done heard you my whole life, nigga. I know.
Yes, I've been doing it for a long time.
Oh, that nigga, man.
Man, don't tell me you're scared too. Come on, man. It's nothing. It's...
Listen, 2 a.m. in Compton, bro. Drop that.
Come on. Dude, I'm not using
Drop
this,
that,
man.
bro.
You know what? It don't matter that you don't believe in me, man. Let me get in the booth. That's what everybody want, huh? That's what everybody want. That's what I'm gonna do. Watch out, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. I could top that easy. Easy, that short ass nigga, man. That's crazy. I was really trying to keep this PG. Yeah, you like that, right? Where you go? Come on, hey, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. Come on.
So hold on. So that happened.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, the saddest part is they had like 3.4 million views on that, but that shit probably is demonetized like a motherfucker.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, actually, probably not, right? Because remember, Kendrick stuff was monetizable for a while.
I just mean for like the gun and stuff.
Oh
and the
yeah,
cussing.
but
Yeah,
the gag is worth it.
Right. No,
All
for
right.
sure.
This one, and for context, they made this skit like immediately after Meet the Grams went up. So like that night,
South Park level.
it was like that night or that morning of, like, they were there. So there's something you're gonna see in here that you're gonna think that you're gonna know when they saw this happen. They probably lost their shit. All right, on go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, Kenny, you want to turn the lights on?
No, leave him off.
Did you hear that?
Drake dropped.
You heard it?
I expected it.
This is what happened.
Why do I feel like
My
that's
family.
exactly how that shit happened? Too?
Yeah.
I'm uploading now.
His third eye just.
Yeah,
opens, like,
he's just in a
I
dark
predict-
room, just like, come at it, dude.
Let's get this shit.
Drake.
What is that? What is that? What is that? Put that away, bro. No, we're not doing that.
Bro, I'm just saying, bro. Just tell me the truth, bro. You got a daughter, bro.
Man, I don't have a daughter, Tubbs. You know this. How long I've been knowing you?
Bro, I don't know, bro.
I don't know either.
Man, bro.
I made a song called Family Matters, and he drops a song called Meet the Grams. Okay, y'all must think I'm fucking stupid. Who's the mole? He said it has to be somebody close to me. Tubbs? 40? Who?
Drake, we don't even know half these niggas, bro.
Hey, Kenny, you got them pressed in here. Go ahead and drop the next one tomorrow.
What?
Huh?
What'd you say?
What?
What the fuck? What the fuck is that? What is that? Who are you? What the fuck?
Drake, on some serious shit, I think we need to leave that nigga alone, though, bro. Like, we ain't got shit on him, man. I feel like he know our every move, like he Batman or something, bro.
I'm the boy, Chubbs. I got 24 hours.
That was a cool way of ending it. The way I've been quoting that myself the whole time. Who's the mole? Just the way he says it's so funny. But dude, they called it. You know how much they've been losing their fucking minds if they're like, holy shit, he actually dropped the next day. Shout out to RDC World. I've been going back and watching their back catalog. It's really good stuff. And the gun bit's worth it. Fuck the monetization.
Yeah,
Gun bit's
no,
worth
for
it.
sure. For sure. That shit's funny.
Kendrick.
I hope they have a Patreon somewhere or some other means, because goddamn,
They got 6 million subscribers. They've been pumping it out. So
they're fine then. Yeah.
Yeah.
they're vibing.
Oh, they pop off on like TikTok and shit too. So
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, they're making all kinds of money then.
yeah. Anyway, welcome to Blueberries Podcast, episode number 261. I'm Adrian. That's David. That's Kels. This is our video game podcast.
Yep.
We go live every Tuesday on youtube.com/@bluerupees. Ooh, that was the first time I ever just did the whole thing right away. Cool. I don't forget about it now.
flip it.
Yeah, right. And then we're probably not gonna like talk video games. We try to talk video games nowadays.
We will always talk about what we played.
Yeah, there's always some. There's never been an episode without a video game in there at some point. You
There's a
know.
little bit of news. A few characters got shown off for a few choice games.
Oh,
Sure,
and
we
then
can
this
talk about
weekend's
that.
Evo. Are we still doing Evo watch along? We doing that
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll try to
Should
pop
be
in
free.
where I can.
on Sunday?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
I
Final
can't
Sunday.
guarantee I can be there for the whole thing, but I'll try to pop in when possible.
All right, let's do it. And then if you guys want to get some actual fighting games going, I'll download Street Fighter and Tekken. Or I know David doesn't play Street Fighter anymore, but I'll have Tekken on at least. So let's do it.
Sick.
I'll probably stream it too. So youtube.com/@depunked if you want to watch us play fighting games and us commentate over Evo stuff. You want to hear something tragic that happened yesterday? Tragic in the most first world problem sort of way.
Oof.
What is that, my friend?
Okay, I was on Target, saw where S4 posted that student coupons and teacher coupons went out 20% off. And they stacked.
Oh shit.
So like I'm talking like you could have got like a MetaQuest 3 for like 2 something, I think, or something like that.
Oh shit.
So speaking of fighting games, what is something that I've wanted for a while that's just not going on sale? That nice arcade 1-up MVC2. Looked at that thing.
True.
It qualified, so it was like $380.
Damn, that's a good deal.
And I'm
for that
like,
guy,
all
man.
right, I'm feeling that. So I was like, all right, well, I'm burnt out on money right now, so I'm like, let me save some money. It's good through the month. Cool. That was that
It's
morning,
coming
right?
out on Switch and PS4, man. You don't have to buy the whole arcade.
Nah, I need it.
No, it is really nice to have
Oh,
in
yeah.
here.
No,
Although I will
sick.
say, once that fucking PS4 copy does enter my hands, I'm probably modding that console
Sure.
or that cabinet.
Do it.
Don't the cabinets connect online as
Yeah,
well?
but you're not finding people
Yeah.
online, really.
Oh yeah.
No.
That probably like me and David want to play. We'll say, hey, hop on your cabinet. We'll play that. But you're not finding like random matchmaking.
No, and no one would want to honestly play over Wi-Fi anyways. Like that's trash.
Right. So I was like, I saw that in the morning. I'm like, cool. Let the girlfriend know. I'm like, all right, well, let's see if there's anything big because it qualified towards one purchase, so you could stack up. We're like, stack up stuff that you won't like never go on sale or like are far from sales, right? Cool. Last night I'm like refreshing. I'm like, let me go check that and see how much it was again, see how much I needed, and then the coupons were just gone. I'm like, what happened?
That's my
there?
luck.
And so I'm like, I guess they became excluded or something, or they like didn't let them stack. But I look back and they both say redeemed. I'm like, redeemed? The fuck? I didn't use it. And I look, and I've been letting a friend use my account because she'll build up points.
Oh no.
She'll build up points, and it's cool. Like she'll build up points or there's coupons on there, but Target automatically adds your coupon now. And so I look, and poor girl, she went to Target on her lunch break and bought like $4 worth of food, so she saved $2.
No.
And I had to ask, I'm like, did you go to Target today? She's like, yeah. Why? I'm like, I may have had 2 coupons that were gonna save me about $300, but I think you used it and saved $2. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I am too. I messaged the support and they were able to save 1 coupon. I don't know if they could save them both. I'm gonna try to ask for the other one back though. So there's a glimmer of like 10% chance they do work, and I really hope they fucking do, because I'm like, I'd be so pumped. I was so pumped about that, and my mood just dropped. I'm like, oh no. But I also think it's also kind of funny. I'm like, you saved $2 on a coupon that I could have saved about $300 off of. But it happens. Fucking Target also they should not make that automatic, which I think I
No.
think they've learned though, because they have a department just because of like unused or unintended to use coupons. David,
Real quick question for y'all. Do your fucking Twitter notifications still work at all?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I only get notifications on direct mentions now. So like I've missed out on so many fucking deals for Mario 64 because
Oh no.
even though I've belled him. He doesn't show up in my feed anymore.
And you tried unbelling and belling and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So I have 5 different people I have bells for, but he's the one I predominantly care about.
Yeah.
And it's fucking wild to me that I don't get anyone's bell notifications. I just get mentions.
Ooh, on Prime Day as well.
I mean, luckily there was like fuck all I actually cared that much about on Prime Day. I spent my lunch break fucking scrolling through Amazon, but
That's fair. Anything? Is anyone
Plus,
getting anything on
I-
Prime Day? Is there a?
I didn't even look. There's usually not.
Prime Day. So I'm upset that I'm broke right now, but me and the girlfriend both acknowledge it's probably best that we're broke because you save money when you're broke because you're not spending that money.
Yeah.
I'm still upset about it though because there's a couple things, but really Prime Day is only about like looking at your wish list and buying the stuff that you really don't need.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you just like talk yourself into needing because I saved $15, but you're spending $15.
Right.
But I'm still gonna try to spend money because
But they also do the shitty thing, like a lot of Black Friday sales do. Because
They
I
hike-
was gonna
hike
try to
price up?
grab, yeah, because I was gonna try to go ahead and get some extra of my energy monitoring plugs that I have around the house.
Sure.
So I was like, oh, okay, I see that they're on the Amazon Prime sale. Perfect. I'll just go ahead and buy some. Then I'm like, that doesn't look that far off. And when I compared to when I purchased them a couple weeks ago, I'm like, oh, it's literally a $2 difference. You just inflated the value price of it and said it's 80% off.
You know what I love about the human psyche with this is like there could be a $15 item and it says $10 shipping. We'll be like, nah, fuck that. But if it could be $25 in free shipping, we'll be like, all right, that's not bad. I hate
That's how
paying
I am,
shipping.
especially like here recently with TCGs, TCG player. So like whenever you're looking for a shit ton of cards, you have to pay attention to
Yep.
what store you're getting it from, or else you're going to pay like 5 different shipping fees, get them 5 different times. So you want to try to bundle them all from the same store to get the free shipping.
Or worse, Cloud
But-
Kingdom's fuckery, where it's like,
Uh,
oh, we have like some of it on sale, but not all of it.
Uh,
So
yeah.
Cloud Kingdom, like,
We've been looking up. I forget if I mentioned, but the girlfriend lost her whole Pandora bracelet at Disney World.
No.
Yeah, that thing's gone. She didn't know where she lost it specifically, and I think we thought she lost it at a restaurant, but then we thought about it like a day later. We thought she lost it in the bathroom, but either way, they didn't find it. So we've been slowly trying to rebuild her bracelet. But I've been going on eBay and just finding people selling really cheap Pandora jewel or charms. And I find someone that sells them cheap from like Germany. But it's like $20 shipping. But they also list up a fuck ton all at like once. So I like try to snipe like 5 or 6 different charms at once. And if I do, I bundle them all together. So I save like a good chunk in shipping.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I'm not. If I buy one charm, it's kind of it's like all right, well, it's an okay deal. But if I buy like 4 or 5, all right, the deal works out pretty well. But if you do Pandora bracelets, you know that the charms are a bitch to recollect. And but then again, the resale value is also super low, unless it's like a really exclusive one. So it's not the worst thing in the world, I guess. Anyway, so we'll talk about new stuff in a bit. April asked, do you guys think Evo's going to be crazy in terms of announcements? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think everything that's been in. Okay, no, I lied. I think we might get. No, I think it's confirmed. We are getting Combat Pack 2 from MK. So I mean, there's that. But other than that- or that might
we-
be Comic Con. I forget.
Do you think that we're gonna is the game kind of is the game had its like first big patch yet where it's like because I know the competitively
That's
the game is
crazy.
like
We're at
not-
the end of the first Combat Pack, and yeah, dude, have we had our first big patch yet?
like in terms of like I mean like the year 1 patch of like of
Yeah.
Street Fighter, you know, where it's like all right, here's a lot of big changes. Like are we doing that with Mortal Kombat? Yeah, because I think Mortal Kombat's in need of it, just of how not competitive people are feeling it.
No, I mean they've been doing like not week to week, but progressive changes, kind of like how Tekken does.
Okay.
They're a lot more hands on with the tinkering and tooling with it than Capcom is with Street Fighter.
Hmm.
For
Okay.
show.
Anyway, David. I forget what'd you get this week?
But Takeda looks sick.
What we get first? I don't.
Well,
remember.
technically, the way we've been doing it lately is what you've been up to, then what you got, then what you've been playing.
Whatever you want to say then first.
All right, well, let's do what we got because it makes more sense to lump what we've been doing in with the
Sure.
what we've been playing. So I have a fuck ton of imports here because that's just what I do.
It is what you do.
I feel bad, actually, for a person that I import from a lot. An eBay seller unfortunately sent me a game that was without the disc. I bought in dozens. I've purchased dozens of games from this person. It's the first time that happened. He took a look around, couldn't find the disc. He's like, I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. Immediately gave me a refund, so no problem there. But it sucks because now I'm like, what do I do? Like, it's not like I could go find a loose copy of this game. Like, this was already obscure as it was to find in the U.S. Internet, let alone try to find a fucking loose copy of it.
Right.
So I guess I'll just hold on to it and see what happens. But I got this weird kind of all-star quiz game. It's part of a visual novel series. It was $1. Why not? Also in the it was $1. Why not category. Are you all familiar with the Masters of Monsters series?
No.
It's a strategy RPG series that is fairly in-depth. Like, it was one of the more early examples on the PC space originally of trying to do like a really solid strategy RPG, and then eventually came to like PC Engine and Genesis, etc. This was Master of Monsters Kids, basically. This was their attempt to basically be like, oh shit, there's a younger demographic that plays them their video games. Maybe we should try to simplify our formula so the kids will get into it. So like, fuck it. Again, it was like $2. Why not? Neat little chibi art. I might try it just to see the gameplay element of it. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to fucking understand anything, as there's no currently fan translation. But really like that. I like the Master of Monsters series, so that's kind of cool to see. And then I got another super light 1500 series entry, which is called Pangea. It's another strategy RPG, another game that predominantly relies on me to read a lot of text, but who gives a fuck? Again, $2. I really,
Pangea?
hell yeah. But no, I've always loved the concept of this franchise. So there's Super Light and there is the Simple series. Both are basically just like budget titles. Like, all right, we're gonna fund these studios to just make a fun small game. And it's a concept I wish we saw more of in modern times outside of the indie scene. But I like it. Fun fact: that's how we got the EDF series, was because of Simple series.
That's cool.
Speaking of Simple series, I got 2 of their party game collections. Because again, you don't need language to understand how to play the basics of a party game. So fuck it. Got these in the collection again. Also $2. In import, I did not spend $2 on. This one cost me a whole $8 hairs. And it is the Atelier Marie Plus Edition on PlayStation 1. Just because I'm trying to collect the whole Atelier franchise. And Atelier Marie PS1 is one of the ones I was missing. So I was like, fuck it, I'll get the Plus version. There we go. Bam. And then I got some digital games as well. No one gives a fuck. Who cares? I can't wave them in front of a camera shittily. But aside from that, I also did get physical in box again, Super Street Fighter 4, as I'm trying to get all my iterations of Street Fighter 4 completed box again. I also got Infamous Second Son finally in fucking box. And then the one brand new entry to my collection, Black Sad. Finally have Black Sad. And that is
Sucker Punch. It's really sad that Sucker Punch is just never going to get the opportunity to go back to Infamous and get another swing at it.
I really wish we could get a remaster of 1.
I want to remaster of both of them. I love Second Son as well. Well, because there's Infamous 2, right?
2.
And then there's Second Son.
Yeah, there's Second. Well, technically, it was 1. Yeah, 1, 2, Festival of Blood,
Yeah.
Second Son, and then First Light.
And then never again.
Yeah, like I would love like the main games to just get remastered, like in maybe a game of the year, like all the DLC included with it too. That'd be a lot of fun.
I mean, especially in today's climate. That's what fucking baffles me. Like, we have never
Original
been more.
superhero games like those would kill. Like Prototype would annihilate if Prototype came back out.
Don't you ever get
Prototype
upset when you
would be
look back at
amazing
games
to
and you're
have
like,
again.
some games you're like, you're just too ahead of your time and you were not appreciated.
There's
Oh,
many games like
yeah.
that. Like, honestly, I straight up think if Legend of Legaia had been a more modern title, like if it survived into the PS3 era, would have been a fucking banger of a lost gem. But
Um, yeah, but that's a game series I booted up once. I remember I was like, like a time where I was like, I put like an hour or two into it. But yeah, no, I would like to go back to that eventually.
which series?
Infamous.
Oh, so you can put that on your list of games you never finished.
There's, I mean,
We should
that's-
finalize
it's a long list. I mean, I think right now we're just trying to go for like I would put Uncharted above Infamous, even though I'd rather play
Wild.
Infamous just because Uncharted's more iconic and something that will like it's more egregious on the I have not played this list.
Well, you know what the crazy thing is too is we know like what Sucker Punch is doing for like the next 8 years because of that Sony leak. So we know that this is just never gonna happen.
Wait, Sucker Punch, Insomniac.
Insomniac. Okay,
Sucker
never
Punch
mind.
does.
Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. Fuck.
That's a good question. What does Sucker Punch do now?
Is that Sly Cooper?
Yeah, they no. Yeah,
Yeah, they did
Ghost
Sly.
of Tsushima. No, they
There
done
we
Sly,
go.
Infamous, Ghost of Tsushima.
there we go. That's where
So
it's
they're
going.
doing Ghost 2.
Yeah, they're the Ghost Studio now, just like how Insomniac's now the Spider-Man Marvel Studio. You're just never
It's-
gonna see original content from them again,
It's just-
unless they get like a branch or something.
It's really a bummer to see big studios just become a one IP studio. Honestly, I kind of go that with the Coalition as well, but they've not had that many titles yet for me to feel like, all right, I want to see you guys do something else. Let them do a Gears game right first, and then we'll.
I mean, that's just kind of what comes with like the whole AAA wave, right?
Right. David, what else you got?
That is I got some stuff I'm still waiting on to arrive. I'll phrase it that way. So that's all that's physically in my possession at this moment.
Cool, Kels.
Nice. I got a bunch of comics.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we have Mr. Moon Knight, Vengeance of the Moon Knight, number 6. We're leading into like the next big story arc here. This one's actually a tie-in for Blood Hunt, which is my second one I got here. Got the Blood Hunt Red Band, number 4 here.
Nice.
This one has our villains on the front and center. And then we have sliding away. All right. We have the Ghost Machine stuff. We have Rook, Redcoat. Redcoat's really fun so far. I've been liking that. So interested to see where
How
that
much
goes.
room does your collection take?
Right now it's just those. I need to find like some way to. Well, and the thing is, I have a lot of singles. Those don't really display well, so I just need to like have like a milk crate or something to put those in.
Mhm.
I also have some paperbacks I need to start putting up there. We have Ultimate Black Panther, number 5. Really like the art that they're doing here. It's cool to see like a younger Storm. I feel like we like more. I don't know. I feel like we either get like the kid X-Men or we get them like really old. There's a cool age to have them in. Ultimate Spider-Man, number 6.
Yeah, Red Skull.
Yeah, no, Kingpin.
It's like Red Skull.
Yeah, so it's really weird. So after the whole reset, like the world is kind of like segmented into pieces. Kingpin kind of like controls New York and like the eastern like border of America, pretty much. And Ultimate X-Men. There's that Peach Momoko.
Hell yeah.
Sick,
Fucking
dude.
fantastic art. You love to see
It's
it.
so fucking good. And I just love that she's been able to like hop in there and like give a lot of personality to Armor, because Armor, she's been a Japanese X-Men, Japanese mutant, and in this Ultimate X-Men run that Peach has been doing, she's been like the character everything's kind of centered around and the story is happening to. She's our like perspective in. She's the main character.
Gotcha.
for us. So it's just been really cool to see a Japanese-born artist be able to not only do the art but write the story and kind of tell their story of a Japanese character.
Nice.
I mean, there's a nostalgic part of me that immediately goes, okay, but what about Silver Samurai? But
Right. No, and that's the thing too. They've been hinting a lot towards stuff, so it's really interesting to see because you're starting to see names pop up and you're like, wait, I know that name.
is Jubilee still a vampire in the new Ultimates continuity?
No, it's like kind of wiped. So we
Hmm.
haven't met Jubilee yet. We haven't met any of like the mainline X-Men yet. It's weird. We've met a Summers, but it's not a Summers that we've met yet. So it's like, are you Havoc's kid? Are you Scott's kid? Like, like which branch do you come
Fascinating.
from? And the thing, they have an eye patch, so you're like, does that eye lead to some sort of dimension here? Like, what's going on? So it's been like slowly unraveling. It's been one of those things where it's like we're getting names and we're getting places dropped, but you being from the perspective of Armor, you're not like wholly involved, and it's her figuring out her powers. So it's kind of like this weird shit's happening, and she's becoming like aware of everything else happening around her.
Real quick, Crazy A Pepperoni in the chat talking about comics. He definitely wants to read the Black Sad comics at some point. I honestly forgot that it was based on a comic until like this morning when I looked at the back. I was like, oh, this is based on a comic series.
I didn't
Fascinating.
realize it was. That's cool.
And then two, he's asking, is Rook any good? He saw the cover and thought it looked badass.
No, Rook is great so far. It's been really surprising. It's yeah, no, it's really interesting too because it's kind of giving you like a post-apocalyptic story, but it's also like not post-apocalyptic for like us. It's like a sci-fi post-apocalyptic, so it's been a lot of fun to read because it also ties in to like everything else, and you're starting to get hints towards that too. You're getting names like corporations and stuff, so it's like, how does this tie into like Redcoat, which starts back during the American Revolutionary War? So, but Simon also, he's immortal, so it's kind of, I don't know, it's really interesting how it's like all a connected universe they're building out there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, very good. Thumbs up. Check out Geiger too. Geiger's been my favorite out of them so far.
Man, I need to get back into regular comics more. I've been slowly getting back into manga, but I still need to get more regular comics.
Yeah, I've been trying to order manga from my the place I get comic books at, but it never gets put in my box. So I don't know what the fuck's going up with that. So guess I'm just gonna have to buy the volumes at the bookstore or some shit.
I had a moment today where I'm like, what do I do? Because I'm still trying to figure out like what do I want to start. So I was like, I popped open Berserk for a second, put it away 2 seconds later.
Fair.
Opened up.
Berserk is daunting to get caught up on. Let's be honest.
Doesn't it start with him fucking the demon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the
Yeah,
very
hell
first
yeah.
thing. Then I opened up
Meet
Invincible.
my favorite character like right there at the start though.
Opened up
I
Invincible.
love Puck.
Put it away 2 seconds later. And then decided just to go through the boys. So we're making
Okay.
some progress. We'll talk about that in a second. But Kels, anything else you got?
Yeah, so I just got a shit ton of comics. Busted my last box of Star Wars Unlimited here open. So other than that, nothing else.
Nice. I got 2 things.
My left nut, my right nut.
Got this on sale. We're talking about it. It was on sale, so I figured I pulled the trigger. So I got the
Oh, hell
Apologist Ace Attorney collection.
Yeah,
Me and
yeah.
Miles Edgeworth, and that's out, and I'm all caught up.
I still need to get the one that's set in like ancient Japan. It's the only one I'm missing right now. That whole trilogy.
Right. And then I got this. I forgot about this from Limited Run. I really didn't need to. But I don't know why I bought it.
Man, it has no ethics.
Roller Coaster Tycoon. I heard it was actually pretty decent.
I'm so mad. I did have that pre-ordered before all that shit happened. So
I think it was also one of the Amazon or Best Buy ones, though.
Oh, that's cool.
I think.
yeah, but it's still
Yeah.
them publishing it, so I can't give them money.
That's fair. Well, I was
If there
making-
was an Asia English release that was not them, I'd grab it. But
sure. While I was making the MVC roster, looking through the characters, definitely made me want to go check out more Marvel comics. I experience some of the character stories. It's fair. It's the fun thing about crossover games. They make you really want to start diving,
Yeah.
diving deep with all that.
Week too, but there's a fresh X-Men run about to start, so it's a perfect time to hop in and check it out if you're new and wanting to see what's going on with it.
Before I forget, there was something else I was going to do this week, and I actually started it because I had to get a free trial, because I was like, you know what? Me and the girlfriend sat down. We're like, maybe we finish up that Nier anime, right? I got that
yeah.
that nice Blu-ray set that unfortunately does not have subtitles or dubbed. So it is just
Oh,
it is simply now a collector's item, which all right, that's cool. I'm fine with it, I guess.
One more reason to learn Japanese, right?
Yeah. So
one day.
I got the Crunchyroll booked up to do that. So I watched the first 2 episodes of that.
You should have just messaged me. I have that all on the server.
Oh well, it's a free trial, so I can cancel it and we can do that then.
Fair.
I just need to figure out a way to. I need to make it a way to figure out how to stream my computer screen to my main TV.
An HDMI cable.
2 separate rooms.
A long
it's real.
HDMI
Yeah,
cable.
it's not gonna work with cats here. But anyway, I figured out that
Set up
real
the
quick.
VPN on a laptop so you can bring it across
I'll
rooms.
probably just end up using the laptop. We'll have to
Put it
figure out
on
how
a
to put
flash
the.
drive.
We'll have to figure out how to put that thing on my laptop.
Yeah, I found a more Ubiquity has released a more
Streamlined.
consistent way to do it, so we don't have to like spend a half hour trying tokens.
We'll talk about it on Evo Day then.
Yeah.
All right.
And Kel, the invitation's welcome to you too. If you want access to the home
Ooh.
server shit, let me know.
Yeah.
Another thing I got. I don't know if you guys ever played Little Gator Game, or if you guys know
How
of that.
was that?
It was cute, but I got this guy.
Hell
Look
yeah!
look at him. Yeah,
That's sick.
I have his sword in the living room right now, but got a little attachable shield. Fangamer was doing free shipping, so I grabbed that guy because it was on sale. And then I was doing one of those walking. Have you guys ever heard of Conqueror? I think I mentioned it a while back. They're the walking challenges where they like put you like in a virtual whatever you're doing. So if you're walking along, if you're walking like I don't know, like a Paris challenge or whatever, it'll walk you like in the city of Paris on the app, but you're walking in real life. And then when you complete the challenge, it'll actually send you the medals. So I did the Tokyo one, so I got this.
That's sick.
That's
though.
pretty
Oh, that's
cool
pretty
medal.
cool.
I think I had to walk. Let me see how many miles was it.
While you're looking that up, I got fucking pee as always.
Damn, that's a record run right there. I guess it's been about almost an hour.
Switches.
Had to walk 45 miles for that.
And like what amount?
I mean,
of
I think you can set your own time.
Oh,
But it took me 45 days, and that was like I spent like the first day I got it, I walked 6. Then I was busy, and then a lot of that came from like Disney World, and then hiking, and all that. So eventually I knocked that out. But it's supposed to be a little more consistent. You could do longer ones. You could do the one I would love to do if I ever got into it. I was like I want to do the Pacific Coast one. I think I mentioned that. That's the hike where it's from Mexico to Canada. I want to see if I can knock that one out over time. I was talking to a coworker who hikes a lot. I said I was like, "Do you ever think about that one?" They're like, "Yeah, I would do it. I would have to do it in chunks." I'm like, "Yeah, if I ever did it, I would want to do it all in one go." Because I've heard how miserable of an experience it is, but also that kind of speaks to me in a very masochistic kind of way, I guess.
A Pepperoni talking about the MVC roster makes me think, man, I really wish like Invincible got used in a better way for video games, you know, because they've came out with a few like mobile games and shit like that. But if we got like a fighter for it or some shit, that'd be so cool.
Oh, the final bit of Xbox 360 games to go on sale went up.
I seen that, or I seen them mention it.
Yeah, let's see. April says,
See
I'm
you,
gonna
Billy. Have
go
fun.
cool off in a pool. Hopefully, come back later. Otherwise, have a great podcast. Enjoy that pool time. Pool time is always good time.
Yeah, for real. It's been like 104 all day here for us.
It's been the triple digits here. my AC's been broken most summer.
Oh,
So it's
no.
been like a solid like 100 degrees in my apartment. So I've just having to do like, I had to, yeah, David would fucking hate when I say that. I'll save that detail so you can hear, you can see his face grimace when I say that.
Yeah, no, that sounds painful.
Jesus, David,
To
don't
make
fall
this
over
less of a hazard at some point.
at some point. I was telling him that my AC's been broken all summer so far, so it's been about 100 degrees
That's
in, 100 degrees inside as well.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you would hate that. Everyone would hate it, but you particularly.
Yeah, I say this to everyone. I am a true Mainer. I live in Maine because I like the frozen tundra that it gets to be in this state. Anytime it gets above
Amen,
60
brother.
degrees, I'm mad. So,
Yep.
Yeah, it's been bad. So I've having to like do the fan dangling of things. Like I have like fans set up
Ice
in ways,
buckets.
and I've been doing like the box fan. I'll flip it inside, like flip it inward or outward depending on time of day or that. But I've also just been lazy about it, which it shouldn't be, but I just have been. Actually, so today I just call them up like, hey, my AC is still not working. Can I just have someone come up here? And they're like, yeah. So in a couple hours, they had someone up here and they checked and they're like, oh yeah, there was no water in the swamp cooler, so you fill that thing up and you're good now. And yeah, it's
What the fuck?
yeah, that's part that shows how lazy I am a lot of times and how much I don't really mind the heat too much. But also
Nah, dude, I start sweating and I get pissed. Like I get unreasonably bad whenever I get hot.
um I get more mad when I'm cold, even though I know being cold is more ideal,
Yeah.
right? Because you can always layer up infinite amount, and I also feel like being cold or being like warm in the winters really soothing. Being cool in the summer doesn't really like, it just feels like you're just surviving.
Yeah.
But there's like a cozy factor to the winter, but like I don't know, I can handle being warm or hot anywhere. It does not, that doesn't bother me too extremely, but
I
being
would always
excessively,
rather be cold than hot.
yeah, see, I can't. I think I used to be like that. I just can't anymore. I don't know what it is. It's
Well, you
my-
see, the thing is, we are big boys, Adrian. We run
true.
hot.
I mean, no, so I think I might just be anemic. Like I used to be exactly that same way. I used to also, I mean, I think I'm about the same size I used to be before I fluctuated in and out of this weight. I might get 170, I think, right now. I've definitely got, I'm actually just found out, I'm naive with a lot of stuff. So like I learned that you can have a gym membership with your health insurance. Didn't know
Oh, that's
that.
sick. Yeah.
Um,
See, same with mine, but it's always the bullshit gyms.
So
Yeah.
mine covers like all of them. It's still priced
sick.
out like, I think it's still priced out the same amount, but I think I'd rather do that just to not deal with gyms being bullshit. We're like, you have to come in and cancel this. Fuck that.
That's the fucking worst. Those goddamn chain gyms.
Yeah. But it covers most of mine, so I'm actually gonna boot that up sometime later this month and work my way back down because I've gained it up. But I was this way before, and I used to like the cold more, but I lost weight, and ever since then, still I just cannot handle being cold. I fucking hate it. That shit gets me fucking pissed. Like you're the same way you get sweaty. I'm like, no, I'm good. Fuck this.
That's fair.
I mean, Pokemon Go Fest was this past weekend, so I was out in about 95 to 100 degree weather all weekend, just
Oh,
yeah, walking around. The girlfriend hates it. She's like you guys, just the second like it's hot and sweaty, she's like, no, I'm good. I'm she's like, I will drive around in my car and do this, and you can walk outside.
Those were the glory days of Pokemon Go when you could just drive at whatever speed and just hit Pokestops as you're fucking driving.
Before it
by.
tells you, hey, you're going way too fast.
Yep.
Yeah, no, did Go Fest. I don't know if neither of you guys. I know David does. I don't know why I'm addressing him. Have you done Pokemon Go at all in the last bit, Kels?
Now, every once in a while, I'll hop on there just to pick up free shit or just to see what's going on, but I haven't played in quite a bit.
I played Pokemon Go for a tiny bit back in the day.
I'm saying now.
Fair, yeah, no. Now I have opened it so that way I can use it with Pokemon Home and let my Pokemans free. But
Forgot about that.
Yeah. So I didn't almost like I've installed it as like on and off, but like to like play for about 2 minutes and then I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And it was last summer when I got that Pokemon Go Plus. So I'm like, all right, I should start using it. And so I've been there've been like 2 or 3 times where I've just been grinding it out. And so Pokemon Go Fest being one of them, where the girlfriend and her cousin are both into it, so they kind of like loaded up my account with a bunch of just money, and they're like, hey, buy these things and let's do this. So I think I did like 70 raids or something like that over the last 2 days, which
Yeah.
if you know how leveling in Pokemon Go is, it drags after a certain point. But I gained like 2 levels off that, which was interesting. But I think it's still fun. It's like it's funny because like technically right now Pokemon Go is bigger than it's ever been, but like I don't. It's still, even with Pokemon Go Fest, like yeah, there's a huge group of people. It harkens back to that time where it first came out, but it never quite is. It will never quite be that time where it came out, where it wasn't so streamlined. There was some chaos to it. So I remember like there were people just yelling out, "Yo, there's an Arcanine," and you see a fucking herd of people just sprinting off that way. I'm like, oh, that was those are cool times. But now it's like it's kind of streamlined and you know what
I
to
have a
do.
theory is the reason you don't see a whole bunch of people, but the reason why it's the highest numbers ever, it's because you have people with multiple
Yeah,
multiple systems, multiple phones playing at one
yeah.
time.
My girlfriend's cousin has 6 phones that they can use. So they're like, yeah, we would, but she's like, yeah, we would just stay in the car, like 3 or 4 of us, and we would just do all these raids together. And now to do that, I'm like, that's cool. I was not privileged enough to have 6 phones play this game, so I'm gonna walk around with the peons and just knock those out.
Speaking of which, shout out once again to a friend of the podcast, Sigma, who was one of those people that had a farm of phones who could also use them for that.
Yeah,
I just remember
But he
seeing
also
that.
made money off that phone
So-
farm, which was wild.
I have a video of it. Let me see.
I remember there was like a dude in Japan, I think, or somewhere that had the bicycle with like 20 phones on
Yes.
it. He just fucking.
Well,
biked
there's
around
people that got
and-
robbed because they were holding like 2 or 3 of them when they were trying to live stream.
So insane.
Let's see. I have a video of all of his phone farm. Let's see. There it is. Ba-da.
Oh my god, what a mad lad in the shoe holder.
Yeah.
Oh, diabolical.
Yeah, he Stigma's built different.
Entirely different. He's built in an obscene manner. God damn.
Man was making good money off his phone
Yeah,
party.
yeah.
I don't know what you would call that, but
Holy shit. He had the charger on the side too.
So yeah,
Crazy.
he would set up the phone farm and he would do that to do all the like those survey.
wasn't it the Spotify thing or?
They were all the survey ones that you would have to watch. I hate having to.
You just watch
recalibrate.
ads.
Yeah. They would just be automated to do ads.
It's hilarious.
And that was when Mega64 would do their game days events at Disneyland. So they would have a yearly meetup at Disneyland, and he would just pay it all through that. So all of his that was his Disneyland for all of his travel and everything he got was his phone farm.
Better than giving plasma, I guess.
I always want to give plasma. It's
It's not bad. I fucked with that whenever I was like a college student.
it,
'Cause I remember at one point, because they give you a card. I
Yeah.
just went and checked it. It was like, oh, you have $800. Like, oh shit, I haven't even touched.
how many times did you have to do that to
Well, you do it 2 times a week, and that's how you. Because you, I don't know how it works at every one of them, but ours is usually like you can make up to this much per month, and that's because you make like a flat amount both times, and then if you make it 2 times a week for the whole month, then you get like a bonus that
Oh gosh.
How many times do you think you've done it?
big amount. Me and my wife, we were doing it like quite a bit. We probably did it for about a year,
oh
but that wasn't just for like.
They weren't hard up. They were just good people.
I was getting, it was quite a bit. You'd probably get like $500-600 a month out of it.
Yeah, Maine they restricted. I knew someone that did it basically as often as they would let him, and it was like $50 a trip.
Yeah.
I
'cause it's,
I am one of those people that I know I should donate blood proper more often than I do, as I am O negative. I fucking hate
nice.
needles, and it's
Congrats.
one of those things that I can't get over that mentality of hating needles.
well, you would hate then to have to. You don't do the insulin shots for the cats like I had to then, huh?
No,
You'd hate
no.
that.
Luckily, no. One of my cats is asthmatic. Luckily, not diabetic. I mean, not luckily, but for both of our sakes, it's
Right.
good that I don't have
That-
to try to shove a needle in her.
I don't I don't like needles. I'm not like terrified of them. Like I mean, some people are, which is fine. But like I don't like them though. But I know the plasma ones hurt too. They can leave some bruises on you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I always thought about doing that, but because it also gives me a reason to justify it. I would think it would in a world where I would do that, I would be like, this is my funny money, and everything else goes into savings. That's probably the
That's
way
it,
I would
yeah.
start doing that.
That's essentially what it was. Because, like I said, I just had that card I never touch, and then I hit it up. It's like, oh shit, I have almost $1,000 on here.
Yeah, I might.
Like at that point, you almost want to just reinvest it.
Well, at that point, it was my weed money, but
Man's honest. All right.
You get poked get poked to smoke.
Exactly.
Poke to smoke.
Yeah.
That's a campaign I can get behind.
Right. It sounds like not plasma needles though.
That's
It
not
sounds like a different kind of
dystopian at
drug.
all, right?
Yeah, I need to start doing that whole save money thing. I did the
Amen.
rocket money thing. I still have it going on. It's kind of cool. They let you pay what you want, minimum $4 per month, but it's like $10 they'll default, which is cool. But I had a saving grace moment where Tess, good news, has now regulated in her blood sugar, so she is normalized like a normal cat where they should be now. So we have one more appointment within the next 1 to 3 months, and if she's normalized there, then we can take her off insulin and she can do her thing again. But
Hell yeah.
I've had
That's real quick. That's why I snapped earlier. Is we actually had to watch a buddy of mine's cat, and her cat also apparently was diabetic, but for her they actually just give her like drops.
yeah. They
Was that something that they didn't talk about as an option? Or?
No, it's been just insulin. Her insulin development's been not there. And
Gotcha.
we did have to give her oral medicine in the beginning because they wanted to watch out for any inflammation or bacteria she had, but she took it like a champ too. She didn't like it,
Gotcha.
but she took it. But because I've had what was intended to be a one-time vet visit turned into like 4 multiple $100 and then now food, my money kind of tanked a bit.
Yep.
And then coming back off the trip, me and the girlfriend are both tapped on our wallets, so we're like, oh fuck. So then I had to go out there and I had to pay for her thing. I have the insurance for her, but which brought it down, but it was still kind of like I just put the payment, but I was like, okay. And then I realized I'm like, oh yeah, I had Rocket Money, which Rocket Money's been like, without me knowing, has been taking money out and depositing it for me. No,
Shit.
in a good way though.
Oh,
Because I was like, okay, I have no money. Oh wait a second, there's $100 in savings. Sick. Let's use that now for emergency money now. So that actually, I think it only takes money if it knows. Like it evaluates your spending habits. It takes out where you're at. It tells you like when your deposits coming up or when your things, and it'll take
So it
out
won't, like,
money for that.
overdraw you or some shit.
Huh?
So it won't like overdraw you or something.
Yeah.
I guess.
But yeah, shout out to that one because I need something like that to kind of just work in the background because like I wasn't putting that money into savings, but it worked out for me that way too, which was good. But let's see, what was in David? What'd you do this week, or what'd you play?
oh yeah. I did a lot of things. I played one thing, which I'll save for last. One thing that was not necessarily what I specifically did a lot of, but the partner built a library for us, which is fantastic. So
That's funny.
good chunk of time was spent. Okay.
That's funny because my girlfriend's cousin just finally moved out, and that's that's her library room now. So she's been painting it, and
Oh yeah.
good for them.
But so that was one thing that I spent some time doing is we argued a lot on how to organize the library. And I lost the argument. Which is she wanted to organize it like a proper library. So there's like genre sections and things that are sorted by last name of authors.
But what
Which is
about
not
the
how
Dewey
I
Decimal
organize
system?
things.
The Dewey Decimal system. Yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be
it's already
sick.
been developed. There's already a system.
If we had more things, I'm sure she would actually do that, unironically. But no, I am a man that just organizes alphabetically by series. And that was not enough. So that's fine. She's the one that put the work into it. I'll let her roll her business there. Aside from that, fuck, there was. Oh, I've been getting caught up on some animes, as there has been a ton to get caught up on. Suicide Squad Isekai is actually kind of fun. I've had a lot of fun with that so far.
DC animated stuff's pretty solid, I'd say.
What's so fucking funny about it to me is like the people that are into Suicide Squad, I feel like are just inherently not traditionally into anime. So it's like the
Yeah.
styles clashing, so neither side really understands what the fuck is happening. Well, I take that back. The anime lovers are like, yeah, this is normal, but the Suicide Squad lovers are like, what the fuck am I watching?
100%. It's wild, my timeline. There's a lot of people like picking apart the anime tropes that happen in it. There was one person I'm like, I don't understand why like the visual quality was so good in the first 2 episodes and then dropped after that. I'm like, yeah, they're conserving the budget. Like you don't understand. You got to sparingly use and pick where that budget goes. That's just anime, baby. So it's been interesting seeing the mixed reactions on it online, but no,
Like,
fuck it.
the
I've
big
had
one
fun
I've
with
seen
it.
was like the big one I've seen was like a bunch of the comic nerds were like, what the fuck's up with this intro and outro? Like, was it Walker's dancing? It's like, this is anime. This is anime as fuck. I don't know.
Yeah, speaking of which, shout out to
For Waller.
Maury Calliope, Demon Dice, who does the outro as a free Suicide Squad Isekai.
Someone at one of my local game stores was wearing a Demon Dice shirt, and I was trying to get a picture of it, like, to send, but they kept moving and they kept looking around. I'm like, they're gonna see me taking a picture.
That's why you should just awkwardly go up to, like, I know you're not going to understand this, but I need a picture of your shirt because there's someone out there. I know one person that's going to appreciate this. So we've been getting caught up on that. Partner and I have been having a lot of fun with that. One thing anime related that the partner and I have not been having a lot of fun with, Trigun Stampede.
Oh.
Few episodes into that, and I need to go on a soapbox here for a little bit real quick, which is fuck Trigun Stampede and everything about that fucking anime. I'm gonna finish it. I'm committed. I finished the fucking newer Avatar, the live action Airbender. But you know what the difference is? As much as I hated the newer live action Avatar, the last Airbender, I mean, I hated the original too. But
Live action or cartoon?
the live action.
Okay.
I hate the M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar.
Bing bong, yeah.
Yeah. I also hated the Netflix's version. I will give at least the Netflix Avatar one thing. It understood the dynamic between Zuko and Iroh, and those scenes, fucking chef's kiss. They understood that dynamic, and I feel like that's all the writers gave a fuck about, because those are the best scenes in that live action.
I just forget his name, but the dude that plays Iroh in that live action, he just acts his ass off for no reason.
He is so good.
He's like a character actor that pops up randomly and just acts his ass off, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, he's fucking good. Honestly, the whole cast is really solid in terms of their performances.
Yeah.
A lot of people shit on the child actors, which they're fucking chill. I don't know what you're expecting. Like, they do solid. Also, fuck anyone that has any weird fucking issues with Azula's actress. I don't understand. The only complaint people should be having with Azula in this series is Azula shouldn't fucking be here right now.
Yep.
That should be the only complaint, is what the fuck is she doing here right now? Other than to basically eat away the screen time that should be used for the other things. But that I fucking hate the weird internet shit that has gone on with Azula's actress. That's fucking disgusting. But at least I can say good things about Netflix's attempt to do a live action Avatar. I can't say a single fucking nice thing about Trigun Stampede. So, Trigun Stampede is trying to basically do the manga, but still not doing the manga 100%. It still changes a lot of shit. So already from the gate, the idea of, oh, they're trying to be closer to the manga, kind of like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is to the original series. No, that's a lie. They are closer to the manga, but they're not trying to follow the manga. So fuck on off with that shit. Secondly, the animation's god awful. I do not give a fuck what anyone says. The weird, heinous, staggered, fucking super stiff 3D CG that they use for this series, I would expect, honestly, in an anime fighting game. Like, if you just played a clip of an action scene in Trigun Stampede, you'd be like, oh, that's the new Naruto fighting game, right? Like, it's that level of weird, stiff bullshit. And
At least it's
also,
not as bad as 2016 Berserk, though.
some moments are that bad, honestly. Some moments are that bad.
Yeah, from what I've seen of it, it does not look natural.
Also, I'll give some of the character redesigns a little bit of credit. I still hate Vash's redesign so fucking much. Meryl's is fine. I don't mind her character art redesign. I don't mind Wolfwood's redesign. I really hate what they did with the fucking Nebraska family. Like, holy shit. We go from this dude who's like fucking as tall as a building to basically a dude my size. And then kill him. Like, it's so weird, the fucking changes they've made. Which is going to lead me into the primary part of my rant. Which is part of the reason I really fucking hate Trigun Stampede is it's fucking soulless. To quote friend of the podcast, Kyle, this is one of the most soulless fucking things I have ever seen. Anyone who has ever experienced the original manga or the original anime, I can't imagine actually being a fan of this. Now, granted, the original anime veered off course of the manga quite a bit. In fact, it didn't even finish the story. A lot of people have arguments that the anime is better than the manga. I'm actually in that camp a little bit, that the original anime is better than the manga. But it's only because that the fucking original anime has so much heart and soul to it. It
And a
understood,
really good voice cast.
which is one of the other cruelest parts. Johnny Young Bosch comes back for Vash. And you know what's horrible about Trigun Stampede? I mean, everything is horrible about it. But you want to know what one of the worst parts about it is? Go watch any emotional scene from the original Trigun series, and then watch some of the emotional scenes in Trigun, knowing it's Johnny Young Bosch in both fucking roles. He is Vash in both, but the night and day difference of the fucking voice acting direction. In the original series, you felt Vash's pain. You saw a man that knew he was a disaster to anyone and everyone around him. That all he wanted at the end of the day, as comedically as he said it, truly was love and peace. That's all he fucking wanted. And he knew that he had a problem to solve in dealing with his brother. Then you go. And you fucking remove all of that from this fucking character. And you make it flat and fucking one note. And not only that, the fucking director of this series is like, oh, we're gonna do like 5 seasons of this.
Yeah, they confirmed there's like a sequel series that's being worked on, right?
There's a sequel series in production, but they've already confirmed that they're doing 5 seasons for this.
Yikes.
They're doing 5 seasons. The very first shot of Trigun Stampede is what happens with the seed shit. Not only is the very first thing, Adrian, have you seen the original Trigun?
I've not.
Take your headphones off for a second.
Yeah, because you do need
To
to watch
Kels, I'm going to assume you've seen it.
It's been a long time, but yeah, I have seen it.
So the very first shot of fucking Trigun Stampede is what happens with the sea shit, with knives blowing up the fucking ship, and then fucking Rain sending Bash and knives to the planet. They changed her fucking dialogue entirely. So the whole point of her last words alive to Bash was look after knives or take care of knives. Those were her last words. Take care of knives, which serves as the emotional throughput for Bash for the entirety of Trigun.
Mhm.
because he's wondering what she meant. Does she mean bring him to the light, or does she mean put an end to him?
Yeah.
What does that mean? They changed her final words to "you two do your best" or some shit like that. Fucking immediately killing it. But also the fact that they're planning this to be 5 seasons, and we're fucking starting with the concept of Knives. We know who Knives is. Knives, in the very beginning of the fucking series, goes up and kills the Nebraska family. Fucking Knives. And not only that, in the first 3 episodes, we get introduced to Wolfwood and Stasi the Beast. And Wolfwood is already like, yeah, I'm working for the bad guys. In the first 3 fucking episodes.
So do you think there's like a, since they do have 5 seasons planned, do you think there's like any sort of implication for them having it planned for that many episodes? And for them unloading their load in
Implication
that
could
first
be.
season?
Because honestly, at this point, you already have changed so much about the order of the storyline that the only thing I can think that's going to happen is you're going to go through the series and you're going to have to add in your own unique new shit because you've already fucked up the heart and soul of it. Also, fuck Trigun Stampede for what they did to Meryl. Absolutely fuck this series. I mean, one, fuck it for the removal of Millie. Millie Thompson, Stun Gun Millie, the heart and fucking soul of goddamn the Trigun original anime. It is part of the reason why I do agree that the original anime is better than manga, because it did a lot to really highlight Millie and Meryl and their connection to the world and to Vash. And also, when fucking we get to Wolfwood's passing, and you just have that scene that's just immediately cut to Millie and that fucking emotional breakdown from it, as you have a cold-hearted Vash put on his sunglasses. There's no more emotion. There's just a fight fucking head of them. We're not gonna have that. There is no more emotional connection to these fucking characters. And so fuck the fact that they replaced Millie with this weird old drunkard who has become this like stupid know-it-all, like, oh, I'm a fucking reporter. He's literally Frank West. It is basically if you put Frank West, aged him up to 60, and then gone ahead and said, all right, you're fucking the character that knows it all. So he is the emotional through line. This smart-ass know-it-all reporter is the emotional through line to all the characters. He's the one that susses out, oh, Vash, you must have a weird old past. You must have some problems. And you know what they fucking done with Meryl? Do you know what they did with Meryl?
I have no clue. I think I've seen like the first episode, and it's been a while.
They made her fucking useless. She is a butt monkey. She is there to be shit on by every fucking character. The woman, one of the main primary examples of strong women in early anime,
Yeah.
is reduced to a fucking joke. She's treated as a literal child, even though they
It's
make a
fan
point
service,
in like
probably,
her,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Fan
they
service.
literally make a point of like, oh, she's she just graduated college. So she's like 23, 24. But they treat her like an actual fucking child. Even worse, her moniker in the original anime, Derringer Meryl. He had a whole fucking tape of Derringers. He didn't fuck around. She was fucking loaded. She was strapped. She was ready to throw down in a moment's notice. In this new series, she runs and hides and is a fucking coward at every opportunity. They gave the stupid fucking new old man reporter her Derringer.
Yeah, it does sound very toothless from what you're saying. Because that was the big thing about whenever I was first getting into anime watching it. It really did feel like a Western in the sense that it had a lot of teeth to it. There was a lot of grit there in a lot of the characters. They weren't all like smooth around the edges.
No, Trigun is literally a Western in space. That is fucking it. It's the same with Cowboy Bebop.
Mm-hmm.
But it has so much heart and soul and emotion and understands character dynamics and long form storytelling. When we finally get introduced to Knives, is basically the end of the fucking story. The entire season And the entire 26 episode run of the original Trigun builds to the concept of knives. It builds. We have that whole run where it's not even until like almost halfway through that Bash really starts to confront the idea of knives. We get flashbacks, we get the gung-ho guns who start to kind of allude to who their boss is. But throughout the whole time, we get badasses like Sazi the Beast in the original. And we get motherfuckers fuck. Was it Ludo of the Many Horns? I can't remember his exact name. But then also, the biggest motherfucker of them all, we get fucking Legato, who can literally mind control an entire population, but still fucking bends the knee to knives. So we've had this whole build-up, all original anime long, to who Knives is. And the only time we really see him is in one flashback, which is the destruction of July. And in the final confrontation, when Vash comes up with fucking Wolfwood's cross gun and his own angel arm, and is like, let's do this. And no words are exchanged. It's just a fight. And it's the most fucking beautiful, most Western bullshit. It understood the source material, but it also understood how to tell a story with heart, with character, and it understood the inspiration that led to its creation. Trigun Stampede is the antithesis of everything that the original Trigun stands for, and it's fucking wild to me that there are people that actually like this. Now, if someone's new coming into this, I can kind of give them some leeway. I mean, the animation's still shitty. They rapid fire plot points at you a mile a minute. I don't understand how anyone could like it, but it's still one of those things, fine. If this is your weird first exposure to Trigun, I can kind of understand, but fucking nothing is ever going to touch that original anime series. And I hate how soulless and fucking horrendous that this new series is. And to know that it doesn't even need to be as fucking fast forwarded as it is.
It kind of reminds me of like the whole Netflixification of stuff, you know, because we have stuff like Cowboy Bebop, and then we have stuff like the live action, which I feel like has the exact same complaints there.
No, blackmail them. You get it? Because you're black, and I'm gonna blackmail you.
And that's had like sort of the same issues too. Like we were immediately introduced to Vicious, which in the original anime I feel like was like a late
you did not get to Vicious. You had like one or two mentions of him in the series, and then it wasn't until again, like Trigun, it wasn't until the final confrontation as Spike is processing his loss of Julia that's like, oh fuck, that's Vicious. Okay.
Yeah. It's so weird, like how they all like maybe Trigun Stampede was by Netflix, I don't know, but they all have like that same sort of issue. Like whenever they're trying to remake from source material that's already good, it's weird. Like they polish away like any sort of like uniqueness from it. Like, and I just don't understand it. It's so weird too, especially like whenever you have Johnny Young Bosch attached to it. And then he's doing stuff like the new Bleach revival, the 1,000-Year Blood War. It's fucking sick. Like he's doing great in that. And then you see something like Trigun Stampede. It's like, damn, you were really just cashing checks, weren't you, dude?
And it's frustrating because you can tell he's trying his best, but the voice direction does not allow him the ability to do it. Like there's again in the first 3 episodes, fucking Knife shows up and kills the Nebraska family. Characters who we have recurring themes within the original series. And he's like, no, fuck it. Bam, killed. And you just have Johnny Young Bosch's Vash in the new one be like, basically like Willy Wonka. No, stop. Don't. Come back. And it's like, where the fuck is the same Vash that, you know, one of my favorite episodes of the original series is after the time skip. And Wolfwood finds him in this backwoods city. He's pretending to be a man named Eric. And, you know, he's basically cowtailing to this local gang because he's too afraid of hurting anyone. And he doesn't want to hurt this gang. Even though he knows he can destroy them, he's still afraid of what he is capable of. And until eventually the girl he's watching gets kidnapped, and he's like, well, fuck it, guess I'm Bash again. But the depth of character and voice range and emotion, and again, it's also Johnny Young fucking Bosch. The man is brilliant.
Yeah.
He is a phenomenal voice actor, and to see him so fucking wasted on a role he made
Yeah.
is wild.
I think that was probably like one of his big breakout roles in voice acting. I feel like
In
it's one of
voice
the
acting,
earliest
yeah,
ones.
because his first like major role was as
Ranger.
Adam, the Black Power Ranger.
Yep.
And then shortly after that, or at least around the same time, was as Bash.
Power the Frog.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
man, a
it's-
frog.
Oh,
Like, dude,
oh,
a frog's
that's a
sick. Why are you
fucking
bitching about
frog.
that? Yeah.
oh man. Goddamn Power Rangers movie was so stupid and so fun. All right, Adrian, come back.
You're safe. Come back to us.
This long rant aside is to say, Adrian, please watch the original Trigun.
One day.
You still got
It is a masterpiece. It's phenomenal. Don't ever watch Stampede. It's fucking horrible.
You know, it's so weird how that works too. Like some animes just have terrible reboots or revivals, and then some just have fucking killer ones.
You know, the Fruits Basket one was actually really fucking good. I kind of like the Fruits Basket one.
See, I'm one of those Evangelion fans. I love the rebuilds. I think the rebuilds are goddamn masterclasses.
You know what? Here's the thing. When it comes to the rebuilds, I'm not going to say any spoilers, or Adrian, don't feel like you need to bop out here. I remember hating the third rebuild until I stopped to think about it. Because you had Rebuild 1, which was basically a one-to-one recreation of the first 5 episodes. And you're like, perfect! This is what I thought this was going to be. And then you have Rebuild 2, which is mostly the original series. And then it's like, wait, who's this Mari bitch? Hey, what's going on? What are you doing? Why are
Why
things
do I
changing?
love her?
Exactly. And then it's like, wait a second, what's going on? And then you have the third rebuild, which is fucking completely off the rails, and you're like, what the fuck? This is not what I was sold. And then you stop and think about it, and you're like, oh no, you're a fucking mad lad. I appreciate this.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh my god, seeing fucking 3.0 plus 1.0 in theaters was such a wild experience. I mean, for many reasons, but like, oh, that final heartfelt conclusion, that actual closure to the series, to be like, we've had at this point now.
She sang the song for that too. One Last Kiss.
Yes, which is phenomenal.
Brings us
like,
back to Kingdom Hearts.
Truly, I fucking cried in the theater for that. Like,
oh no,
honestly,
I got big old watery eyes. Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
David's gonna be a
man,
fucking teary-eyed mess at the end of the near orchestra.
Probably, honestly, knowing what I know of the storyline progression, I'm still probably gonna go. Because like I cried when I first saw it on Amazon, and then but still the impact of seeing it in theaters still fucking left me with tears. But like, truly, I
waited
never.
because it came out because I remember it was during the pandemic because it came out in Japan.
Yep.
It dropped on Amazon. I'm like, no, this is going to hit theaters, and I want to experience it on the big screen. So I like muted it everywhere, refused to watch it. Then finally it hit, and there was like a pretty small audience. There was more people for Advent Children than there was for the last one, but it was amazing because I just remember the credits rolling, the song hit, and I'm just, whoo, wow.
No, my theater experience was wild. So TLDR, this was back when Gore was still on the podcast. But what ended up happening for me is the only theater or the closest theater to me when it hit theaters was an hour and a half away. And I'm like,
Fathom events, dude.
yeah, seriously. But I'm like, fuck it, let's go. So it was me, my partner, and 2 of my best friends. Because I basically brought one of my best friends through the series. I'm like, no, trust me, you're gonna fucking love this series.
Yeah.
And she loved it. And then one of my other best friends was like, oh, what are you guys watching? And I was like, no, you gotta watch this.
Come
And then when I heard that they were doing a theatrical release for it, I immediately turned to my partner. I'm like, "You're watching the theory now." So I got a busload of people back when I had my Highlander. So I got a fucking whole SUV full of people trucking along an hour and a half drive to go see it. We get to the fucking theater, and it's the dingiest, grossest place. The whole parking lot's full of fucking potholes. There's actually a Tim Hortons still there. Mind you, Tim Hortons left Maine like 10 years ago, but they still have one Tim Hortons in this weird ass location. I'm like, what the fuck? And then you go into the theater, and it's mostly like an air hockey area. Like, they claim to have like an arcade, but it's just like 8 air hockey tables. And we go into the theater, and we sit down, and things start playing, and we were like, oh, okay, the previews are starting. And there's this movie that they're showing set in World War II of the first Black Air Force.
Oh yeah.
And we're like, oh, okay, yeah, it must be like a trailer for this film. 5 minutes go by. God damn, this is a long trailer. 10 minutes go by. Wait a second. Unless this is a weird extended preview, I don't think this is a trailer. The fucking 20-minute mark hits. I stand up and I look at everyone in the theater. I'm like, there's no fucking way this is a fucking trailer, right? Like, we all agree. And
Someone's
everyone's
like,
like,
sit
yeah,
down,
like,
shut up.
well, no, and then I look around. I'm like, okay, we're all here for Evangelion, right? Like, we all saw what was on the sign, right? And then everyone's like, yeah, no, we came for Evangelion. All right, I'm gonna go yell. I go out and I'm like, hi,
Our hero.
I go to the front desk. I'm like, look, we paid to see the dub of Evangelion in theaters, and we would like to see that, please. And they're like, oh, is that not what's playing? No, there's some war movie going on for the last 20 minutes. I would like to see that, please. I'm like, okay. So go sit down. And then all of a sudden they start at the very beginning where they have like the pre-movie roll of like, oh, get your snack and popcorn, no smoking in the area, including vaping. And someone else goes into play like, bitch, just fucking start the movie. And they come back. And then we get the movie starting. It's like, finally, all right, we're going to get Evangelion. And all of a sudden, fucking, they're speaking in fucking moon runes. And I'm like, wait a second. We paid to see the dub of this film. And I'm looking around. And everyone is equally like, wait, I thought we paid to see the dub here. And I'll ask everyone with me, like, we're just going to watch this, right? And everyone's like, yeah, we're just going to watch it. I'm like, all right, fuck it. So even though we paid to see the dub of Evangelion, we watched like 20 minutes of a Black World War II military film to then watch Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 subbed. But all that to say is still truly one of the things I rant about a lot in any storytelling medium is the ending. Because I feel like a lot of series fuck up the ending.
For sure.
Even some of my absolute favorite series, I will say fuck up the ending. I feel like truly 3.0 plus 1.0 actually felt like a goodbye.
Yeah.
That was the first time in Evangelion's history where I'm like, fuck, it's over. Like, there's no more. Goodbye. Go away. There's nothing else to resolve. There's nothing else I need out of these characters. They have done their duty, and it's okay for me to move on. Goodbye. And that's truly going through, as a lifelong Evangelion fan, what 3.0 plus 1.0 felt like to me was a goodbye. And
I feel like it gains a lot more context as the years have gone by too, especially after all the shit that we've seen happen with Gainax and like how they're like officially, or what was it? Not fuck, because they just had something recent happen with them too, where they just kind of like,
yeah, so Gainax went like fucking way off the rails, and
Right.
they started getting into like NFTs and embezzling company funds and shit. And that was how we got Evangelion again, weirdly enough.
yeah,
Because Anno was like, fuck you, you still own the rights to my baby. Please give me my baby back. And he finally got Evangelion back from them. But it's still sad because it means that they dragged down their other properties with them, which
for sure.
I think they still technically own the rights to Fooly Cooley and Gurren Lagann as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's because I always advocate like for artists owning their stuff and owning their
Yes.
properties and being able to do
100%.
with what they So it's one of those beautiful things where he started off. I feel like a lot of his mental anguish and shit that kind of like bled into his art had a lot to do with probably his working environment with Gainax.
Oh,
I feel
100%.
So it's really one of those things that feels awesome for him to get his property back, see it to fruition, kind of shed that skin, and be able to kind of like let it out to sea, and be
One
able
of the
to
most
put it out to
fascinating,
pasture.
like truly one of the most fascinating things about Evangelion is understanding it through Anno's lens.
Yeah,
Because it basically Evangelion is his
Do I need to
therapy.
be muted again?
No.
Okay.
Because it's very obvious. I feel like you would pick up on this immediately. The whole message of Evangelion is go outside and touch grass.
yeah.
Like that is all Evangelion is trying to say is go fucking touch grass. Because especially back in 90s anime, which is when Evangelion came out, was 95. There was a lot of waifu commoditization. Little did they realize what would happen down the road. But literally, Rei was meant to be the anti-waifu, and unfortunately became one of the biggest waifus of the fucking series. Which is fucking wild to me. I mean, you got Ritsuko right there, and Masato. I mean, granted, Masato is not exactly a well put together human being.
She's had a big resurgence, I feel like, in the waifu community as of late.
You know, I'm gonna go into a weird side tangent on that topic. I really hate when fan art misses important character elements of
For sure.
characters. I hate that a lot of fan art of Masato, whenever they decide to do like sexy versions of her, miss the scar. Like it's a weird, I understand it's a weird
It's not
thing
accurate,
to like
man.
gripe about. But like if you're gonna do like the sexy pin-up-y kind of portrait-y fan arts of the fucking series, at least understand the source material to some degree. Fucking have the scar there. Like that's just the bare minimum. That's how I can know you're either doing the art or the cosplay because it's popular or because you actually care about the source materials if I see the scar. And it's weird that I have that like mental distinction there, but at the same time, those that know, you know?
I feel you.
But no, so although again, being a kid was being down bad for I mean, as a kid, I was down bad for a lot of purple-haired anime women. I blame Dirty Pair Flash for starting that problem with me. But still waiting for that fucking remastered Blu-ray set to come out. Goddamn. I was one of the original Kickstarter backers for it. Almost 7 years later, I'm still waiting for it.
Oh,
Not the longest Kickstarter. The longest one I'm sitting on is 13 years.
Jesus Christ.
He's still working on it, but it's gonna happen. Radio the Universe. Shout outs. But no, it's kind of one of those things that being an adult is appreciating Ritsuko and her journey. And understanding that she had a lesbian lover there all the time to appreciate her that she did not realize.
Yep.
But no, I Evangelion 3 Chronicles 1.0, to wrap this in a neat little bow so I can go pee and we can continue on to what you did, is truly one of the few times in things that I love actually have a good goodbye and a finality. Because I swear most of the anime most things I appreciate in general don't have that goodbye. I don't know what it is, although especially with anime that are shit at making endings. But that was one of the few times I felt like they understood how to say goodbye and just let the series go.
Yeah, until Disney buys it and then they revive it.
Or until
Looking at you, Star Wars, you motherfuckers! Return of the Jedi was the perfect ending.
Or at least until Studio Car is like, fuck, we need to print more money. Although hilariously,
oh no,
those are actually some of my most expensive parts of my collection. Is actually my book collection.
Mm-hmm.
My book collection actually outshines my game collection in value, if only because I have a lot of manga and books that are stupid rare for no reason. Some of which includes the Angelic Days Evangelion manga. I have the full run set of those, which apparently to get the whole set can be like $1,000 to $2,000.
Is that the slice of life one or what is
Yeah,
that?
that was the
Okay.
one where they're like, "Hey, what if we took the giant robots out of Evangelion and made it a rom-com slice of life?" Apparently, those manga, if you want the full set, goes for like $1,000 to $2,000 now.
Jesus Christ.
Wild. All right, I gotta go pee. But Kels, while I go pee, why don't you start telling us about
You
what
got
you
it.
did?
Like I was saying, I was walking.
Oh
away.
wait, shit! I forgot to talk about what I played. I'll do that later. You tell us what you did.
Jeez.
Then I'll come
He
back to
sounds.
what I played.
He's coming in perfect on his mic. How is he doing
Yeah,
that
how
while he's
does
walking
that
away?
work out? He's facing away from it,
Facing
like 6
away
feet away.
and walking away, and it sounds perfect on it. That's so bizarre. I've never seen that happen. That tripped me out for a second.
Oh, that's insane. I thought he had like a headset on it.
Yeah. Jesus. I don't know where why
Oh
he
my
just put the
God.
mic in the middle of the room now. Omnidirectional.
Oh,
All right.
shit.
What'd you been up
Oh,
to?
man. Okay, so I've been playing more Elden Ring. Been doing some exploring through there. I've beaten the second like big story boss. I think there's like 5. I think been trying to avoid spoilers, been trying to not look up too much because that was one of the big things about the original base game for Elden Ring is just that exploration aspect to it.
I'm hearing this
Is
trend
how-
of games doing their DLC expansion packs feels almost like another game.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like with Elden Ring here, except I do feel like this area they kind of do like a lot of really cool tricks to make it seem a lot bigger than it is, and then you kind of get into it, you're like, okay, this path is clearly leading me this way, this is the direction I need, and it's like leading you towards landmarks, which that's fine. It's a lot more Dark Soulsy, which that's cool. I don't mind that at all. But yeah, no, Shadow of the Erdtree is a really big like really big portion of what the original map for Elden Ring would be, I feel like. Although the original map for Elden Ring's just fucking insane. Because you have the map, then you have like Farum Azula, which is technically above the map, which is huge. And then you have like all the caverns and like
Sounds
the
kinda
seal
like,
for a tunnel and stuff like that.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, almost identical to that actually. I didn't even think of it that way, but yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. I mean, you can't instantly go between both, but it's insane. Actually insane. But yeah, so I've been doing that. Beat the second boss. Like I said last time, I feel like a lot of people have been bitching about like the difficulty for it or whatever. It's a fucking Souls game. I mean, get over it.
Right.
Adapt, play better. I don't know what to tell you. I've been having a normal Souls game experience. Like I'll slap my dick against the boss like 10 times, and I'll be like, all right, I know the patterns here. And finally take them out.
I feel like it needs to be like an egregious like 0.0001% of people who have made it to the boss cannot make it past the boss. Okay, it is too difficult, therefore we should move on. But if it got through playtesting, already probably shouldn't be too tough.
Yeah, and
but
see, I think the whole thing is like there's that whole culture around the Souls games. They're like, oh, I have to do this like the most difficult way possible. And if I take any shortcuts, then I'm a pussy or didn't beat it right. It's like, use your fucking mimic here, idiot. Use the summon right outside the boss gate, dummy. Like, you don't have to be this try hard doing it like the most difficult way possible. Just play the fucking game. Like,
because if someone
they give
hasn't
you all
played
the
it,
tools.
has not played it, doesn't give you an extra trophy or anything for.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. So the only thing that might happen, so certain quests will require you to like use the summon during the boss fight, so that person participates in the fight. Then you'll talk to them later, and it might progress the quest line. So then you might get like different endings that you can get. But I mean, other than that, it's not locking you out of achievements per se.
Yeah.
It might be pushing you towards certain achievements, but I mean, it's not locking you out of anything.
Yeah.
And even then, using like a mimic tier, which isn't story implications at all, that's not going to make it any achievements go away or disappear. If anything, you'll probably get an achievement for using a fucking mimic tier.
Yeah,
I mean, it's part of the game.
I'm of the mind that I think accessibility should be in the game, but I don't understand people saying it's too tough. It's whatever.
Yeah, and see the thing, like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, no, it's very stupid, very fun game. Play Elden Ring. It's fun. It's great.
One
Great
day.
DLC. Very worth it. I think it was $40.
I mean, it
feel
could be a
it's worth
game's gone by at this
$40.
point.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
over a year. I don't know if David. Well, David might.
Actually,
It's a
David
long
uses
ass
headphones?
game too. I feel like.
How the fuck
no,
are you walking away and your mic still sounds perfect?
What?
It was weird. You were walking away talking to us, but like everything still sounded great.
Yeah, because I'm fucking loud.
Yeah, that's it
I
too.
mean,
Great acoustics in this room, guys.
yeah. I don't know. That's the first time I feel like I typically see you walk away and yeah, it gets quieter. But this is the one time it threw me off. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you so loud? Like,
I mean, maybe that's just the power of my new mic. I don't know what to tell you.
yeah, you put work on it finally.
No?
Yeah. Anything else to play, Kels?
No, that's been pretty much it. Been working through that. I've been spending a lot of time in Tabletop Simulator because there's a really good workshop mod for the card game I've been playing. So
Hell yeah.
great way to just be able to play it digitally and not have to fuck with anyone's browser game that they're fucking with.
Oh shit, real quick, how'd you do at the tournament?
Really good for the pre-release. Came in second out of like 16 people.
Nice.
So it's kind of like draft. It's kind of luck of the draw. Whatever you get, what you get, and I
Hell
had really
yeah.
good luck.
I love
Sealed
draft
event.
so much.
Yeah, drafting.
Ooh,
sealed
seal
a lot of
draft
fun.
even.
Yeah, see, I have like terrible luck. I'm the dude that it can be raining ass and titties. I'm gonna get hit in the face with a cock. So I mean, I'm
Yeah, I
just
love
not
that.
gonna
That's a
get
good
anything
phrase.
I need. Yeah, so I'm just not gonna get anything that I need. So I'm just gonna get the worst shit possible. But it's fun to see like what gets cracking.
I fucking love draft so,
So-
much. Go ahead real quick.
You're good. I'll say
All right.
something else.
Gotcha. That was when I used to play TCGs competitively. The format I always topped in top 4 to top 8 in, just because one, I fucking knew my locals very well, so I knew what to hate draft. Because that's the thing, no one appreciates the hate draft. I'm
No, they
more than
don't.
happy.
I got bitched out
Draft-
for doing it multiple times.
Oh no. I'm more than happy to hate draft because as soon as I know the people I'm playing with and I see a card and I'm like, nah, that fucker would use this in a heartbeat. I have no use for it. I'm taking it. I'm gonna 100% weaken everyone around me as soon as I know exactly what their styles are.
Fuck yeah, buddy.
So
And two, because it really demonstrates who's good at actually deck building and who just fucking builds decks based on what they see online.
Marvel Snap has a draft thing kind of like in development planning stages.
Oh, that's
Cool.
sick.
But one of the recent cards, not this week, I think like last week or the week prior, was Erishim, the Eternal. He starts the
Is that the
game.
judge.
Yeah. He starts the game. He gives you +1 energy or mana, whatever you want to call it.
He's
But
a
he,
ramp card.
huh?
He's a ramp card.
Well, so he gives you +1 right out the gate, but he shuffles 12 random cards in your deck.
Oh.
So he's like a blue-green, all right.
Yeah, so it's been fun because like you'll see remnants of random decks that you'll see like, oh, I can tell this guy's trying to do this kind of deck, but just has all these other random shit just coming out at him. So that's been, and it feels kind of drafty, right? Because like you're having to play with whatever you get. That's what you get. It's kind of fun, especially playing the conquest mode because that's the one where you have to play someone over consecutive. Like, so it's like it depends on how much you wager. Whoever gets 10 cubes wins, but like you can play 2 cubes per match. Or you can like wager 8 out the gate or something like that. But it's funny playing that deck in that mode because it's hard to counter because you're like it's I mean it's not like a good deck because like you can still if about a focus deck is probably gonna beat that most times, but like there's times where that deck gets some wacky shit or it gets it wacky shit a couple times in a row, and they also have a +1 mana, so like they're kind of like outpacing you per level too, which is fun. So it's been one of the more fun cards lately, but they're adding more stuff on there, which is cool. But yeah, saying draft mode like that is reminding me of that because that kind of feels like that. Just here's 12 random ass cards. Here's a +1 mana. Do what you can. I'm like, all right.
Figure it out,
Yeah.
bitch.
That's the beauty of fucking draft. I fucking love draft formats. That is my fucking bread and butter in TCGs is because I like just building decks out of weird shit. I hate playing to metas. Like I find it so fucking boring. The one and only time I played to meta was the most boring part of my fucking time playing competitive Magic the Gathering. It was during the height of Zendikar block, and and Scars and Mirrodin has rotated in. So Cawblade, for anyone that's familiar, was the peak deck. Just go fetch stupid powerful equipments, attach it to a bunch of flyers, swing at your opponent for stupid shit. That was the peak of the meta at the time. The one time I played the meta was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to actually make a deck that makes sense in this meta. And I played white-blue control. Now, I don't know, Kales, if you're that familiar with Magic. But there is, speaking as a control player, I love black-blue control, specifically mill. I love black-red control. I love mono-black control. Every so often, don't mind red-blue control. That's only when it's like, fuck, you've given me no cards in black that I can actually play. I guess I'll play fucking black-red, or I guess I'll play blue-red. Fucking hate white-blue control. Because white-blue control is the epitome of no one fucking does anything.
Yeah.
It is the epitome of stall. I had games that would go on average for an hour. We almost would time out in every match I fucking played because my entire deck was, no, my turn, land, here go. No. Basically my win condition at the time was stupid. I paired Venser with Spine of Ishtar. So basically, I would wait until I could drop a fucking 7 mana artifact onto the field that I would bounce in and out of play with Venser, and then just nuke the whole board until I could eventually swing and win. Until then, I had Frost and Sun Titans to kind of delay shit. Oh, let me just keep blocking with these infinitely respawning birds or Wall of Omens as I keep drawing out my deck, or let me just keep tapping your shit down with Tumble Magnets and Frost Titan until eventually, okay, I can start destroying your board. I can Path to Exile a couple things. I'll Spreading Seas 1 or 2 of your lands just to piss you off. Cool. Now I guess I'll just swing at you now that I've removed anything that is functional in the game. 40 minutes later. And I never went back to playing the meta again. After that, I made a Black-Red Super Friends deck that I did okay with, but it made me realize I fucking hate playing the meta in any fucking card game.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing with like social media now, especially like YouTube, like will just blow up like a meta in like a card game because like those niche communities, they have their like bubble, and once something blows up, it fucking blows up, and then
Yup.
you have the meta whores fucking playing it. So that happened here, especially like it. Okay, so Star Wars, the first set happened, so it's just 260 some odd cards, and so someone finally cracked it and be like, "Oh, here's your traditional Magic control type deck." And so, of course, as soon as that popped, every Magic player, everyone that's been familiar with any other TCG, they hopped on the control wagon, and the meta was a fucking bitch there for like a solid month at least until people started figuring out the aggression decks and how to like get under them, hit them fast, hit them hard with the aggro. And god damn it, yeah, playing the meta just fucking sucks. I'm just like, all right, I'm just trying to have fun. I'm building my fun shit. I'm having fun. Fuck you guys for being tryhards at this weekly, dude. I just got done working.
That's what fucking baffles me the most is like, I get it. Weeklies can sometimes be like where you practice your placement matches, but at the same time, I learned from the very first fucking competitive match to be like, no, you always, whenever it's ranked, you always play serious, and when it's Friday Night Magic, that's where you get to just do fun, goofy shit, or whatever the weekly is. Because
I bet you have a lot of experience with it playing fighting games competitively and shit.
It's just whenever it's like whenever you get those tryhards in Call of Duty, like, and it's just always someone like you have someone crying like, I'm just trying to play to relax from work.
Yeah.
This
isn't ranked. This is quick play, or playing Overwatch, like people going hard and quick play game chat.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I'm chilling. I'm trying to practice.
Yeah. So that's So this is my introduction to competitive. I played against a friend of mine in the cruelest irony. My very first competitive match in Magic was during Zendikar block. Like Zendikar was just released. So you had Lorwyn going into, what was it, like M10? And then you had the early parts of Zendikar. I was running a green-white aura deck. One of the few times I have run white in my Magic the Gathering history because I hate playing white. It's one of the only, like, 4 decks I've ever run that use white.
You don't like farming tokens, bro? What are you
No,
talking
I
about?
hate weenies. I really fucking hate wasting my time with weenies. I hate exiling. I'd rather just either mill your shit and throw it against the wall, or if I'm gonna play aggro, I'm gonna fucking play aggro. I'm not gonna waste my time with white's bullshit. And you know what? If I'm gonna play weenies, fucking elves are right there. Or goblins. I'm gonna play,
Okay.
or you know what? If we're playing vintage and legacy, I'm gonna play slivers. Because I'm a bastard. No, so my first competitive match was against a buddy of mine. He's like, that's fine, I'm testing out, this is my first time running this fucking deck. I'm like, okay. And the Eldrazi had just released. And he is running an experimental deck already for Eldrazi. He's running blue-green Eldrazi. And I'm like, that's weird, okay. From what I understand, you would probably want to run those mono-green or maybe green-red.
Got a V-test, I'll be back.
All right. You know, take advantage of Valakut while you're ramping at the same time as like a secondary win condition. He's like, no, I'm going to run this blue-green. He eventually would go on to run like a mono-white deck, which was even weirder for Eldrazi, but whatever. Turn 1. Overgrown Battlement. So he gets a 0/1 Sapling token and a tapped forest, basically. All right, that's no problem. I'm going to play my forest, and, well, it's my turn for right now. His turn 2. Puts down an island, taps, rampant growth, pulls out another forest, and then that's his turn. All right, fine, no harm, no foul. He got a little bit ahead of me in the mana curve. Life happens. Go ahead and I put down my island, I tap, and I put Riverbow in the field. I'm like, perfect. He's got an island on the field. Riverbow has got island walk, so I'm just going to keep swinging at him for 2 eventually that he can't block, and I got regenerate. I'm in a good position already. All I got to do is pump my little guy with some of my enchantments I have in my hand. His turn 3, puts down another forest. No, he puts down another island. Mass Polymorph, sacrifice of the token. Bam, 15/15 Emrakul the Aeon's Titan on turn fucking 3. Fuck me, I guess. Welcome to competitive Magic.
Excuse me.
Yeah. And that was the crew I ran with. I ran with definitely people who are a lot better than me in some regards with deck building. Like one of my favorites is not favorites, but there's an ex-friend. He and I are kind of friends now, but we haven't really reconciled. He's the one I mentioned on the podcast that I lived with his family for a while,
yeah.
but he stopped being my friend because he thought I was trying to steal his girlfriend. But TLDR, he ran a deck for a while that was really stupid good. He ran Black-White Vampires before Black-White Vampires were viable. And it's because he used the Sanguine Bond Blood Type combo, I think it was, where it does infinite damage and heals you for an infinite amount. And I'm like, well, there's no getting around this with the cards and strategies I had available at the time. Then I had another buddy at the advent of New Phyrexia, when the first set of Return of Mirrodin, Scars of Mirrodin, that set, when that happened, and Poison was introduced as a, no, not Poison. Poison was already existent. Wither. No, scratch that, reverse it. Wither already existed. Poison was the new mechanic. I had it right the first time. And Poison was the revised mechanic for Wither. And he managed to turn 1 me in the, or not turn 1. It was I think it was a turn 3 as well, in the dumbest way. Yes, because he took advantage of landfall and swung at me for like 12 poison counters on turn 3, and I had nothing to block with. But man, shit like that makes me love competitive Magic. One of my cousins actually just started getting into Magic, and it's sad but hilarious listening to him talk about Magic. He's like, oh yeah, you know, I got the new Doctor Who decks and there's this really wild card. I'm like, oh, what's this wild card? He's like, yeah, I can destroy an opponent's creature and make a fucking token out of him. I'm like, oh, that's what you consider a wild card? Oh, you poor baby. You don't even know the depths of this game. And being able to teach them the fucking deep lore of the absurdity of Magic. But I do miss the
lose
game.
Next turn cards, or was it Final Showdown, or I forget.
Yes, or my favorite, which is the turn 0 win condition of Flash Hulk. Are you familiar with that one?
I know the name. I don't know like the whole wing condition. See,
So
I'm one
the
of those
way-
casual Magic players, so whenever someone pops shit on me like that, I'm like, all right, well, fuck me, I guess. I'm scooping.
No, Flash Hulk is one of the dumbest decks because it's one of those decks that it either works or it doesn't. Like, it's
Gotcha.
literally for the novelty. The whole way that Flash Hulk works is there's a card called Protean Hulk, where if it's special summoned to the field, you immediately destroy it and all other creatures on your fields. And the way the deck is built around is that you specifically, in a game, have to be declared to be the person going second, and you have to have a Gemstone Cavern in your opening hand, a couple other creatures that can be sacrificed for mana, and a couple other spells. And like, it requires literally the perfect opening hand, or else it doesn't fucking work. But the idea is that you immediately put down your Gemstone Caverns, because the Gemstone Caverns effect is, if it's in your opening hand and you're going second, you can immediately place it on the field, and it can be used for any mana. And then there are some creatures that you can sacrifice them from your hand to generate mana at instant speed. And the way it works is you get the Gemstone Cavern, you get the couple creatures that can be sacrificed, and you immediately use them as you're drawing your opening hands to use a spell that allows you to basically dump all the creatures from your deck onto the field. And so you dump out all your creatures.
Yep.
And then there's two creatures. There's Protean Hulk, and there's another one whose name is escaping. It's one of the Juggernaut ones. But basically, the way they combo is they all end up with the effect that if they were special summoned onto the field, they are destroyed. And then another one of them has, for every creature that goes to the graveyard during this period, deal X damage to your opponent, which X is the amount of creatures. So the idea is you literally immediately dump all your creatures onto the field. They all immediately go to the graveyard, and then you immediately deal, I think it's like 23 damage to your opponent, thus killing them with your opening hand before the game is officially started.
Take that, Yu-Gi-Oh! We can do that shit too.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is even wild, because that was where I
Yeah.
cut my teeth with competitive. I still remember the whole incident where they had the pallbearers for the, what was it, like the fucking 400 card deck?
Yeah, I think I remember
Because someone was like, wait, no one really has rules on some of this dumb shit. I'm going to exploit it. And there was one tournament where this dude and his buddy showed up, and this guy had like a 500 some odd card deck that they had to pallbearer in, and they had to wait for like a solid 30 minutes each game to get a full shuffle on the deck. And anyone that would make him shuffle the deck, the game would stop for 30 minutes to shuffle the deck. And it was because of this guy that they ended up creating a deck size limit explicitly because of that player. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like, well, we didn't think we had to tell people to like stop after a while, but I guess we do. And I think it's like 100 cards is the limit, because there's a couple of cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! That do require like 100 card deck to trigger a win condition, kind of like how Magic has like 2 or 3 blue cards that do that. But yeah, that's competitive Magic. So anyways, to cycle that into what I've been playing.
I don't think we finished with Kels. Kels, did you finish everything?
Wait, oh yeah, Kels, did you
that,
finish?
that was it. That's
All
all
right.
I've been
All
playing.
right, perfect.
Yep.
So to look back into what I've been playing, so aside from getting caught up on anime that makes me angry and some anime that's really fun, I am almost done Persona 3 Reload. I'm in the last 2 months at this point. And now that I'm here, I'm at the part where the game's fucking good.
Oh,
Like,
so-
everything-
Whoa.
The whole
Well, here's the
rant
thing.
last week is moot now.
Well,
or-
no, here's the thing that makes it dumb.
Okay.
My official playtime is like 77 hours at this point.
Oh no.
I am just now getting to where the game is good. 77 hours later, the game is now good. What fucking normal person is going to go through 77 hours and then be like, all right, now this game's got
A
me."
lot of JRPG fans would do that.
No, absolutely not. Speaking as a lifelong fucking RPG
I've heard
fan,
a lot of people say,
and has
"Oh, 40
played-
hours in, and it's great."
I mean, those people are fucking dumb and masochistic. There's only one instance where I've ever invested an insane amount of time into something that was horrible just because I thought the ending actually was stupidly amazing by the end of it, and that's School Days. It's the only thing I'll ever recommend. It's based off a really heinous visual novel series. Don't ever look into the visual novel series. The anime is amazing but horrible because they went into the anime with the intention of making every ending canon.
Oh god.
And the way they do it is by making the most miserable fucking person possible. I'm going to spoil this whole anime real quick. And I don't give a fuck because no one should ever watch this, but it's amazing how it ends. So the whole premise of School Days, the anime specifically, is that there's this dude who's in love with this chick, but he's got no confidence. He's a sad little virgin boy. And his best friend, who just happens to be a girl's like, bro, what if we fuck? Then you can get non-virgin energy, and then you can ask her out. And he's like, that's fucking brilliant.
It
So they
really is
fuck.
if you think about it.
And then she falls in love with him. But he's in love with still the girl he wants to bang. But he's got this newfound confidence because he's fucked. And the whole anime series, until the last 2 episodes, is him fucking everyone. He is still trying to pursue this one girl who's like this super chaste meat girl. And he's like, I really want in your panties, but like, I can fuck this whole
Respectfully.
school. I'm gonna fuck this whole school. And he does. To the point where like, there's one girl who's like the best friend of this girl, and she's like, no, you can't trust him. He's a loser. He's a piece of shit. He's literally using women left and right. And then she's like, why not? Let me see what this dick is all about. And then he gets caught out by the entire school because during a school festival, he's having a fucking foursome and fucking like 3 other chicks on like the school nurse bench.
Hell yeah.
And it continues to where like we get to the next like one of the last few episodes, and he's just having a straight on orgy with like half the fucking school. And like he's just that level of a Giga Chad. But this all happens after he has finally fucked the girl he's wanted to fuck. And she's like, oh, so we're in a committed relationship now? He's like, no, there's other puss out there. I'm done. And so she's like, she literally goes insane. The idea of him fucking other women literally drives her insane. So the way the anime goes, and I have to stress the anime part, because I'm going to reveal something about the actual visual novel at the end that's going to make this all even worse. So the way that the anime goes is we get this whole buildup of him trying to get with this one girl. He finally gets with her, but he's still fucking literally the entire fucking female student body. And she physically goes insane from it. And he ends up back with his original friend who's like, why don't we fuck to get your Chad energy up? And he ends up back with her because she's like, I am Pregante. I am carrying your child. You need to be with me. And he's like, oh, I guess I need to be responsible now and be a dad. And we get to the next to last episode where he's getting ready to face his responsibilities. And he meets back up with the girl that he originally wanted to get with after she's already fucking lost her mind. Like, literally has been in a catatonic state for like half the fucking anime. And he's like, hey, I kind of just want to fuck you again. Is that cool? And she's like, oh. And so he does. And he gets back with this chick. Meanwhile, his friend that he got Purgante is messaging him, and she's like, "Where are you? What's going on?" He's like, "I'm out fucking bitches, lol." And she's like, "No, we're starting a family now. You need to come back home." So he comes back home, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I had to get out of my system. We'll do this right. Although I really wish you wouldn't keep that baby." And she's like, "No, we're keeping the baby." It's like, "All right, fine. I guess we're gonna do that." She's like, "Look, I'm gonna go make us a nice meal. You go into the bedroom. You go relax. You go let your guard down. It's gonna be great." He's like, "Okay, that sounds great." And all of a sudden, he starts getting like 150 text messages, and it's from this girl. That was his best friend that he knocked up. And it's just like a long line of period. It's like, what the fuck is going on? And at the end of 150 text messages, it's just goodbye. And he turns around and she fucking guts him. Just outright fucking slaughters him in this fucking room. And it's just like, okay, I guess she just has fucking killed our main character after he got her Purgante. Wait, there's still another episode to this. There's still another episode to this. What do you do from there? We get to the final episode. And in the final episode, we get to the original girl that he was into. She comes over and she finds the body. She finds the body of this dude that started all this problems. And she takes his phone. And she starts texting the Purgante girl from his phone. So she's thinking, this dude's fucking coming back from the grave. He's hunting me. I need to kill him again. So his phone is messaging her. Come to the school. All right. Come to the school roof. We're gonna have a confrontation. And she's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go kill this ghost, I guess. Because that's just the reasonable thought you have at that point. Shows up, and it's the original girl. And she's got a duffel bag on her. And she's like, I don't think you're pregnant. And the Purgante girl's like, what the fuck do you mean? What are you doing here? I was getting messages from, my loving, eventually husband's phone. And she's like, you couldn't have been. You killed him. I was there. I saw the body. And in fact, and she fucking throws the duffel bag at her. That's his fucking head right there. She fucking decapitated this man in his dead body and is carrying it in a duffel bag. And is that level possessive and just wild. And so the Purgante girl's like, what the fuck? And so she goes to kill the other girl. But joke's on her. The original girl came prepared and she kills the pregnant girl and guts her open. And we get from an in perspective shot of the stomach being ripped open. And we just see from the stomach's perspective, the fucking original girl staring in, going like, I knew you weren't pregnant. And then the final shot of the anime is her on her rich family's boat with the decapitated head of the dude going, I guess it all worked out in the end. And what makes it even worse from the original visual novel's perspective, all these people were related.
Of course.
Because the original visual novel was a sequel to another visual novel where, again, they treated all routes as canon, which meant that the main character of the first visual novel in this story fucked every fucking girl and got them all pregnant. So the main character of the second visual novel was literally related to all the girls he was trying to get with because of the original visual novel storyline. Made even worse by there's a third visual novel in the series, and it's all rape focused, and it's all about him trying to rape all the women, and he's related to all of them because of the continuing thing of all these characters. Like there's a line in the original Tenchi Muyo series that the Jirai royal family is less of a fucking tree and it's more of a straight line. That's true of this fucking visual novel series. It's just a straight line. Everyone's fucking related. It doesn't matter. And
everything has to be the MCU, dude. I'm so tired of these interconnected stories. Jesus Christ.
But that is truly one of the only times where I'm like, you know what? Something was so fucking stupid and horrible and heinous, but you know what? The way you ended those last two episodes was so wild, I'm down for it.
Jose Pepperoni.
All that to say, yeah, I think that anyone that really likes Persona 3 basically just likes
I
the way the
forgot
game
what
ends.
the fuck we were talking.
That was the whole
God
point of
damn it.
this.
Was that all you did
Well,
this week,
so-
or was it?
so-
Or
so-
I'm assuming you went to a deep dive of Persona, or is it just like one thing you played?
That's the one thing I've been playing lately. Is
Okay.
Persona. I'm almost done
Was
the
it
game.
you had a hell of a
I'm
week if
literally in
you're
the
going
last
through
2
all
months. But that tangent is to relate into the fact that like I'm 77 hours or so into the game, and I finally get to where the story is good. And then that's the only thing I can think of when it comes to people that stay in Persona 3 as their favorite game, is they literally trick themselves into thinking they liked the weird school bullshit that in the original releases had minimum content. Because I'm barely okay with the game with all the extra content they've added in Reload. And it's one of those things that I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, if the game actually was focused on just this, it'd be a phenomenal game. I would really love Persona 3 if it was like the original Persona trilogy and just focused on the fucking story. But because, especially putting it back into, early 2000s lens of Persona 3 on PS2, when you just have this empty-ass game that's, it's basically a school life simulator. Oh, and there's also like a fucking story going on with like this grandiose RPG elements going on. If it just fucking focused on being an RPG and we just got the storyline through of the RPG, be fantastic. I actually wouldn't mind it. But because you have so much empty, dead filler in between everything, like, again, Persona 5 still has its fair share of filler, especially pre-Royal. Royal does a lot to fix the filler. Royal does a lot to make sure that most of the time you're doing something of value, especially with the social links. It does the social links really well. But 3 does not. And I can't, I'm almost done 3. I already know how the game ends. I'm already looking forward to the whole journey of the ending. But you can't tell me that 3 is a good game. Anyone that dies on the hill that 3 is a phenomenal fucking game and is like their favorite Persona needs to fucking touch grass, because it takes almost the entire length of any other fucking RPG before we finally get to the game being fucking good.
Hell yeah.
Shots fired.
And a crazy a pepperoni in the chat. I wonder if they'll do a remaster of Persona 2. It has been murmured that there's a lot more remasters in the works. Persona, or the original Persona trilogy, has been amongst those murmured, as they are heavily requested. But this was going to go in the news section, but we'll talk about it now because it's relevant. It is the 20th anniversary of one of my favorite SMT franchise games, Digital Devil Saga. We got the whole soundtrack uploaded to Spotify.
Yeah.
And it's already been murmured that it might be one of the next games to get a remaster because it's in the same engine as Nocturne. I'd fucking kill if we got a fucking duology of fucking Digital Devil Saga remaster, because chef's kiss fucking Digital Devil Saga. So fucking good. So fucking dystopic, soul crushing, but at the same time equally hopeful and engaging and wonderful. Just fucking masterpieces. So I hope the murmurs are true, because I would kill for a fucking Digital Devil Saga duology remaster. And then eventually I still do want to get the Persona 3 original trilogy released again in a modern format. But until that day happens, I'll at least take the fucking duology of those games. Chef's kiss. And then after that, I would also like the Raito game duology, please. Those are also phenomenal. Please give us those as well. Anyways, I'm done. Adrian, what did you do with your life?
Jesus. I finished Gen V. That was cool. I liked it.
Hell yeah.
like I said, I liked it. I was just so eager to get to the boys season 4 just because of all the discourse. I think I'm like 4 episodes in on The Boys. So we're getting there. Currently in the middle of the episode where Homelander is confronting everyone in that room with yeah. Yeah, all right, that's all I have to say.
Dude, that scene's so fucking funny, dog. Like,
So-
Anthony Starr gets a lot of credit for what he does, but I feel like like the dude that plays the Deep, Chase, what's his name? I forget his name, but he's really fucking good in that role.
so it's the room where the first thing he did was make the guy play the paper, crumpled up paper.
Oh,
That
okay,
one.
yeah. Okay, I thought you were talking about the hey Deep, go suck A Train's dick.
Yeah, no, that already happened. That was way back then. Something
Yeah.
not far from that happened just in that same episode, though.
Yeah, no, that shit's crazy.
Oh, so you got to the controversial episode already?
I mean, I think every episode's been controversial so far.
I mean, there was at least like one recently that I know got.
Yeah,
people's
that's
opinions
the
in
one
much
I'm
as they
think I'm
didn't
getting to.
understand.
I'm not there yet.
Gotcha.
But I'm excited for this one. So I'm halfway through the episode before we start this podcast. I am excited for it because I know where it's gonna end because I've seen that still of Homelander in the elevator full of blood.
Yeah, they
And I'm
revealed
like-
that in like a trailer, and I'm kind of butthurt that they did because it's a really good moment.
Yeah, I know that moment's happening in a little, like it's just ramping up. I'm like, all right, well, I know something unfortunate's gonna happen here. So far this season, it's good. It correct me if I'm wrong. Was there like a time jump in this? Because like it's been 2 years is a gap, right? Like, it's a hell of a gap, and I did like the quickest recap before episode 1. I did see a recap and I was watching it and it was an AI that provided the whole recap and I immediately just felt really weird about it. So I went to go watch someone just narrate one. And I looked at the comments before I left though, and it was like people were saying, yeah, this is an AI like narration. It feels soulless, but like it gives the best recap you can imagine. And I'm like, yeah, I'll skip that. That just feels weird to me. I'm good. I don't want I don't want to watch an AI dictate what happened to that. I'll watch someone just give me a quick rundown.
Yeah, it can't be too long down the timeline because at the end of the last season, it was all about Newman and I forget
Huey.
what's his name. No, it was about the presidential run.
Yeah. So
and
wait.
that's just
So
picked up here.
was it not Huey working with her to like do this stuff, and then all of a sudden they're just like not?
I don't know how much we should get into it, but no,
Is that something
what happened?
coming up or because I it's also been like a 2-year gap, so I was like kind of just trusting myself to be like, all right, let me pick up the pieces here that I'm trying to feel like. So the like a couple gaps I have were that, and the gap I have is a Frenchie and what's his name having and spoilers for The Boys. It's not the most recent episode, so I'm not even on there yet, but like at least earlier in the season, having been with that guy that the family got killed. I don't know when did that happen because I forgot about that.
It didn't
Oh,
happen.
okay, because I thought that was something I missed.
Yeah, no, you didn't miss it. It's just one of those things that kind of get sprung on us, and everyone's kind of like, "What the fuck's happening here?" So
Okay, because that
Yeah,
felt like
there-
one of those like did I just forget something happened or
yeah, no.
I forgot that I guess him and Kimiko weren't together again. Or I was like I forgot because I was like they were my favorite couple. I love them. But I know there's like some weirdness kind of happening with that, and that's leading to something for sure. But yeah, I don't know if people just maybe I got to go back and rewatch it, but I don't know if people just like forgot that The Boys is like an extreme parody of everything going on right now. So when I'm hearing people like, "Oh, it's woke," it's like, dude, this is literally like they're taking exact moments that have happened and extrapolating them like a parody, and then putting it as a media.
Yeah, so I don't want to spoil too much, but in the most recent episode, it's so funny. They have like the in-universe version of Sesame Street, but it's of like the Seven and like the superheroes, and they're like Muppets. Right?
Oh, I saw the thumbnail for that. Yeah.
And so there's a fucking line in there that's so funny because it's Ryan and he's talking to the Muppet for A Train,
Uh-huh.
and A Train's kind of like mopey. He's like, "What's wrong, A Train? Why the long face?" And then he goes to the Muppet for A Train. He goes, "Antifa." And it's like a whole like thing about him bitching about like call the police if you see suspicious activity.
Yeah.
And it's like all, and it's like, how do people not understand
Yeah.
like what the satire here?
Right. So, uh, I feel like that's it's all par for the course so far. Like
Yeah.
nothing feels more egregious. I feel like it's been pretty on point. But maybe I misremember. Maybe it was more subtle, but I don't recall it being more subtle. I feel like it was pretty in your face about it.
Yup.
I
Well,
loved
media literacy is dead. Let's be honest. So
it. Really is. I loved the whole firecracker thing where it's like just talking so much shit and like, hey, you fucked a 15-year-old. I just want to say I'm so sorry for that. Like I found God through it. And everyone's like, all right, you're cool. I'm like, okay, good.
Watch Dr. Disrespect. He's gonna come back as a evangelical.
Probably. Or Cody Co at this point too.
Oh, God.
So yeah, so it's been good. When's the last episode? Is next episode final?
Yeah, it's this upcoming week.
Oh, perfect. I
Thursday,
lined up
I
again.
think. Yeah.
I've done. That's when I first started watching The Boys. When it happened, I lined it up perfectly, and I managed to like just watch all the episodes just the week of the finale.
Yeah, because the Acolyte and the Boys ends this week.
Okay. So yeah, I'll probably end up once we're done with this. I'll probably end up going after that. Speaking of really quick, are we gonna boot up some games this week? Should I queue something up for us?
I'm trying to find some time if we're gonna try to play something.
I want to get Helldivers out because you're trying to pull the whole like we're never playing that game again. I want to shut you up about that right now.
Well, we were talking about doing fighting games this weekend too, right?
Yeah, you can do either one. Fine with me. Cool.
I also forgot to mention I watched Inside Out 2 this weekend.
Hell yeah!
How'd you like
Pixar's
it?
highest grossing film now.
I feel like it was super overhyped.
Really?
Yeah, like,
Fascinating.
Well, because like going into it, you hear a lot of the stuff, and like it's past Frozen 2 as like third.
I did
highest
hear
grossing animated film or whatever.
I did hear really good stuff about it, but I also watched the weekend up, so I didn't have to deal with the whole like 2 weeks of people
Overblown.
talking about it. I guess.
Right. And like I've been seeing like people like, oh, I cried during it, or oh, it's so emotional, blah blah blah. So I'm kind of going into it like, all right, what's gonna happen here? It's pretty. I won't say paint by the numbers, but I mean it's a good film.
It's a
Like,
Pixar
it
ass
gets its
Pixar
point
film,
across.
but they did it right.
Yeah, no, it's a Pixar ass Pixar film, but I'm just not like I mentioned before. Like I feel like Turning Red hit a better note with me than this did. I feel like a few of their other ones, like Soul, I feel like even hit a little bit better. Like it has more impactful moments that I remember from it. Outside of just like, oh, this voice actor had this moment that I remember the situation here. So it's
I can understand the
it-
people that liked it a lot though. Why it resonated. They're like,
for sure.
I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? Like when you're seeing, like, I feel like the depiction of anxiety is pretty solid.
Yeah, no,
um,
for sure.
And I feel like
Overall,
people,
no complaints with the movie. I just felt like it was overhyped, but it was solid.
Sure, I could see. I also feel like the hype also came from the fact that I think just Pixar's just been in that weird rut where it's like not every. It used to be a Pixar movie is a banger. Every Pixar movie is a banger, but like this time it's been like, like they've been good. Nothing like amazing, but like they've been all solid. Then you get Lightyear that kind of brings everything down a little bit.
Yeah.
I agree with it though. I think it was good. I need to watch. I forgot it was Go Fest, so I didn't. But I'm gonna try to watch Long Legs before next week, so we can talk about that.
That's why I planned on watching this weekend as well.
Yeah, that's a hell of a shift to
For real.
head out to Long Legs. But
Yeah,
that'd be good
no,
for a
my-
talk then tomorrow or next week.
For sure. Yeah, no, my wife, she's like really not a horror person at all. So she was wanting to go see Inside Out too, and I was already wanting to. So I was like, all right, perfect.
That
We'll go see
sounds-
that. And then
sounds like
double
my
feature
partner.
for Long Legs.
She's like she's not avidly into horror. She'll watch it, but she's like, I'm not into it. But she loves
Yeah.
Pixar stuff.
Yeah, mine gets bored with horror. The problem is because she just looks at it from like the mechanical aspect of how it's made, and unless it's like super impressive, she just gets bored with it.
Well, I'm hearing good things about Long Legs though. Like that was
I've
like
heard like everyone praises like the mechanical aspect and like the cinematography behind it.
yeah, I mean, like, yeah. So I've been bookmarking a bunch of just I know stills from the movie. People are saying people have been pretty solid, luckily, on Twitter about like
yeah.
this part was amazing, and they'll so I'm like, all right, let me save that, and I'll come back to that when I watch it. But Kel sold me because I think it was someone said that that it had Alan Wake vibes to it, like pretty hardcore. I'm like, say less. I'm so there.
I'm in.
Yeah, so I'm in.
You got me, motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's all you gotta say. But yeah, what else did I do? By the way, was the last time you guys went to a film with were you with friends, or were you the only ones at the screening? No, last one I watched I think was.
Oh, he said where you or your friends were the only ones at the screening.
Oh, when was the last time you? I have a fun story. This isn't there. I'm sure there's another one. But there was the first or second date I had gone with my girlfriend. Or not, no, first movie date, I should say. We went to, there was a anniversary of like Night of the Living Dead or something, or Dawn of the Living Dead. And I was like, let's go watch that. She's like, all right, cool. And then we go, and then because we were freshly dating, we were talkative, and we looked around. There's like no one there. We're like, all right, cool. So we're just kind of like sitting in the back row, kind of retracting a little, having a conversation, watching a movie, and then like 3/4 of the way through, I'm like, there's still a bit of more movie. Why don't you go hang out somewhere? Because we're not watching it, like we're just like talking now. Like, all right. So as we're leaving, as we're walking down, we see there was one guy in the like towards the front row watching it. I was like, oops, my bad, bro. Wait, he blended in so perfectly. His head was like not. You could not see his head like up
Fully
that.
sunk in the chair.
Yeah, dude was like just right there. I was like, oh fuck. I still feel bad about that, dude, because dude had like a giant popcorn, and you could tell he loved that movie. I'm like, oh fuck. You know the words. It's fine. Whatever.
Right.
Um.
You've seen it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So it wasn't an empty film. It was Beau's Afraid.
Oh man, I need to watch that still. That's still not.
Still a great movie. I really enjoy it. So like with Fandango, you can pick your seat, blah blah blah, see the tickets sold. So I bought it for me and my buddy. We go watch all the A24 films together and just fuck around. And so there was one guy at the back, like left of the theater, that had person. There's one seat bought back there. So like, it'd be funny if we bought the seat on either side of him and like went and sat next to him, or just to fuck with him. So I did that. So because it was the only seat in the whole theater, I was like, push comes to shove, we'll just take another seat. And so we do that, and we walk in. There's no one there, so that's what we do. We just go get good seats in there, and slowly, like a few other people come in, but the person that bought that seat just never showed up. And so I always wondered, like, did they see that people bought seats next to them and they just freaked out and just dipped, or did they swap seats, or what happened there? I think that was my closest to like empty theater experience, because there was a few other people in there, and it was weird because Beau's Afraid's one of those weird movies, like you don't know if you're supposed to laugh at certain bits, but my ass is laughing at all those bits
that's
regardless.
Still one of my favorite Gore the Movie God moments, where he talks about how he watched Killing of a Sacred Deer, and like him and one other guy had a bonding experience where they were both on the exact same level of like they both laughed the exact same parts and were fucking like loving it together, but they were like rows apart from each other, but they just knew.
See, that's me and my buddy. We're sitting here eating popcorn, dying laughing at this dire moment that's happening on the screen, but in the way it's presented, it's so fucking funny. Meanwhile, everyone else is just like, ugh, what? Ugh, like, why are you laughing at this?
Hey, who made that again?
That was Ari Aster.
Yeah, that's all of his movies though, which is funny to me, right? Like, but see, I'm the crazy one. I know, I acknowledge it. Gore called me crazy for it too, but I thought Hereditary was also very funny. There were like some moments.
There's certain parts that are fucking hilarious.
I know everyone. Like, I'm the only person on the planet apparently that thinks it's hilarious when she was like Woody Woodpeckering the fucking the roof of the cellar there for a second. I thought that was hilarious the way. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts of that movie that are just fucking
dude
funny.
Killing of a Sacred Deer is still so fuck. I'm so bad that Gore just never wanted to watch that movie again, because I'm like, dude, it's so funny though. There's just some parts. I won't spoil it, because if you guys ever want to watch it,
I need to rewatch it. I don't think I made it.
I need to get around to watching that.
If we want to host a movie night, I am so fucking incredibly down for that movie. Like, it's a pretty like dark movie, but holy fuck, like there's some parts I remember that just make me laugh harder than comedy movies, dude.
Isn't that Barry Keoghan?
I don't remember.
Keego, whatever his name is from Eternals.
Let me go look.
Saltburn. Barry Keoghan.
While you're looking that up, the closest I've ever been to an empty theater is at one point, my partner and mom wanted to go see Bullet Train, but it was happening at the same time that Dragon Ball Superhero was in theater.
Busted,
I was like, fuck you both, I'm gonna go watch that. So all three of us went to the theater. My partner and mom went to go see Bullet Train. I'm gonna go fucking see Dragon Ball Superhero. And I sat down and initially
compared to Bash Stampede or Trigun Stampede bullshit.
Right. But I sit down. Initially, I'm the only one there. But finally, by the time the movie actually starts, there's like 3 other people that stumble in who are like, "Oh fuck, we're late." And I've never felt more in line with other people than when we're going ahead, we're watching the film, and we find, without getting into spoiler territory, but you know, we finally get fucking Piccolo being able to fucking show us why he is best dad in all of fucking Dragon Ball,
Dude,
and why he is
erupted.
Exactly. All 4 of us were like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah.
And it was the saddest, quietest thing, as all 4 of us were trying not to be like those people like shouting, but we were like, "Yeah."
Yeah, getting it, yeah.
Bro, the cheering for like hype moments, like Infinity War and Endgame will never be topped on those. Like,
dude, Endgame was insane.
Endgame,
My theater erupted.
Yeah.
What was it?
That
No Way Home
and,
was almost almost there, but like,
see, the weird thing about No Way Home is our theater popped more for the Daredevil cameo than it did.
I remember
for
you saying that.
Toby
Yeah, that's so.
and-
But dude, like Endgame, oh my god, like I remember like I got the 40X tickets for that. So like I had the movie chairs, like the ones that like move with everything.
That's sick.
I booked that shit like right away, and then I had a friend that was gonna go, but had to cancel like last minute because something came up. And I was like, all right, so I just threw it on like Snapchat or something. I'm like, hey, free ticket, who's down? And I had a friend that popped up that I haven't hung out with in a while, and she's like, hey, yeah, I'm down. It's like I've not really kept up, but like I have a vague idea, but like I'm down. I'm like, cool. I just don't want to go to waste. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. It was like super last minute because it was like an emergency for the other person. I'm like, all right, cool. So went down, and she was just watching me like freak out at certain moments, and like, bro, like I still talk about, like, go back and listen to the Not in the Movie podcast where we talk about that. But like the hypest moment to me was seeing Giant Man just punch the fuck out of the thing that took the whole like. Avengers 1 was like Hulk had to like punch that thing on his own, have a whole moment, but Giant Man in the background just fucking just slobber knocks that motherfucker, and I was just like, oh, oh man, like that, dude, that whole like, I'll never forget like the theater experience for like the On Your Left and then like the swelling of the music and everything is like, dude, that's like you have one shot and you nailed it, like that's incredible.
See, the thing, I wish like I had video or something of our theater, like from the moment like you see Mjolnir get lifted till like,
and you know, like you hear the
yeah,
that was a big pop in my theater for that.
Yeah, you hear the inhale, and then everyone just starts cheering, and it goes straight through like the whole On Your Left. Well, it kind of dies down, and then you get the On Your Left, and it just picks right back up. Everyone just erupting again.
Oh man, insane. Dude. It's so.
It was a moment that like I legit have never felt before in a theater and probably won't again in the theater.
I don't see it happening
unless Deadpool and Wolverine fucking pops off.
I don't like it. The most, I think the closest one could be like Secret Wars, but they have to like work that shit back up. Like it's gonna be like it has to be like a Robert Downey Jr. moment. That's the only thing I could foresee like actually happening, right? Like I mean, imagine you see like Tony Stark and Wolverine together like that. That'd be kind of sick. But I remember like I'd watched the movie like 3 or 4 times at that point. I remember I'm laying in bed just watching reaction videos. Like, why the fuck am I watching reaction videos? Let's go watch it again. Oh man. So fucking cool though. Like reactions like that are so sick. If you had any person, I can't remember if there was a reaction like that in his theater. There was a moment before the Mortal Kombat movie where somebody had a raiding costume in my theater. That's cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that it won't be topped, but those were like the coolest moments. I'm glad I watched that movie like 5 times. Like it was like, yeah, give me that reaction every single time I can. That shit was great.
Right.
I'm gonna cherish the hell out of that. No, I actually forgot I already mentioned, but me and the girlfriend watched Garfield a while back. It's all right. I didn't mind it. I thought it was kind of cute. She didn't really care for it. She thought like she was expecting like a whole other kind of movie with that. I thought like more Garfield-esque thing rather than like a whole father son movie. Which was it was weird, right? Like Garfield, like you would think it's like a Garfield ass, like okay, there's Garfield getting the shenanigans, but it turns like a whole father son thing. But what bugged me about that was literally like out of the whole theater, like a row of teens just sit right in front of us. So we like got like the back corner. They just sit right in front of us. I'm like, fuck, I should have put my feet up on the seat in front of me or something like that too, but I was too slow. But that theater, the theater that used to have the old indie movie or the newer indie movies, but that was it. Always, I was like the only person in there. It was like every single time.
We have a place like that here locally. They're showing Long Legs. I think that's where I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah,
it's like the little indie theater. I love that place.
That was
they
a
sell all sorts of cool movie posters.
There was a reel here that was straight up like almost only indies. Like it would have like Doctor Strange, which when I went to opening day Doctor Strange, it was matinee opening, but literally me and one other couple are watching Doctor Strange opening day. And then I always call it the old people theater, but it had I mentioned this story I think before, but it had like I watched Shape of Water and Batman there, and there was like maybe a fourth or a third packed, free seating, no assigned seats, but yeah, I'd watch all the indie movies to the point where even Gore was kind of upset. He's like, how the fuck is your theater getting that, but like New York's not fucking getting it? I was like, I don't know, but yeah, I watched all of them, and it was like I'd say maybe 75% of the movies I watched at that theater were only me, and there's a reason why it's not around anymore, but I love that shit. That was great. I wonder if people will have the same reaction theater during Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't think if everyone's gonna get into like a massive hoot and holler sort of reaction, but I can see a lot of people like getting like
I think
hyped.
it will. I think it's gonna get a lot of because they're going for deep cuts. They're trying to hit on. This is gonna be like the love letter / send off to the Fox universe. So
You gotta imagine it's like the last time we're gonna probably see Hugh Jackman involved. Honestly.
I don't. He's coming back for Secret Wars.
I could see this being him. Like, I'm fucking old. I'm done.
Dude got jacked again for this, and he's like having fun with it again. Like he's back. He's so back. But I think they're gonna like keep him to just Secret Wars. Like they needed to have their own Wolverine. Like MCU needs to do its own thing because they can't like he is getting old. But I think Secret Wars is gonna be your send off to.
They have X-23. They have Laura. They could easily.
That's fair.
Send him off and just build off of it.
I would fucking kill for Laura to fucking actually.
Dude,
get
she's
some
in the
traction.
Yeah, she's in the Acolyte as well. She plays a Jedi in there, and she's fucking sick.
She's always been a great actor.
Yeah, no, she's great. Bring her over to the MCU. I'm totally down for that.
I'm curious. See, like I would say like deep cuts would matter, but then like the post credits to the Marvels, like no one, like everyone's like that's cool. So I wonder like how much the Marvel stuff has, but I do trust Ryan Reynolds behind the script more than I trust anyone else behind the MCU currently.
As long as Ryan Reynolds is involved, I fucking trust Deadpool is the thing.
Yeah, the only thing that worries me is like it was filmed during like the whole writer strike bullshit, but at the same time, they're probably playing pretty fast and loose with the rules type of thing. Like, oh yeah, we're totally doing that. Hey guys, let's not do that shit. So,
which I mean, it waves a line, but like I think everyone kind of has a good respect for Ryan Reynolds to be like, we trust you to like
do the right thing.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
Right.
And my biggest worry is it's just gonna attract like the worst kinds of people, mostly teenagers.
Oh, it's gonna. At least it's R-rated, so it's gonna be a little bit tougher. Not that maybe theaters can really
hopefully
give a shit.
gatekeep a few of them. Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I think the MCU needs a hit right now. Like they really need a banger, and this is their only one. So like, good luck.
They keep dropping teasers too, so I just hope they quit it. Like quit teasing so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're almost there.
Especially where I doubt we're gonna get Blade anymore at this point. Like straight up fucking honesty. Like
I think we'll get recast.
Fucking A.
Supposedly, there's like a reliable MCU leaker. They said that there's actually they're kind of they have a new story for it, and they're trying to nail down also Midnight Suns as well. So
that'd be smart. That's the fucking way to do it at this point. I think at this point, like, Young Avengers are old Avengers now. They're too young. The kids are too old now. We waited too long. it could be kind of a gag or a side thing, but like I feel like a really cool. It's like a little bit too late. Like that should have been the plan afterwards. But like once after Endgame, you should have kind of pivoted away for a little while. Let people like digest that whole mainline thing. It should have been like let's get like paranormal and like darker side, and let's like really gravitate towards a different thing. And that way, when we come back
Did
to
you
this
watch
part,
Werewolf by Night?
that was
shit
one of the
fucking
that was like
sick.
one of Phase 4's like successful things out of everything they did.
So good.
But like go towards that. That way, when you come back to like the tried and true MCU, everyone feels fresh about it. But like starting off with Black Widow was a bad move. I think it's like
No, yeah, that
it was
movie
like I was already kind of like
not good.
okay, like whatever. But then like it just felt like it was. I understand that it was the beginning of a phase, and I've made this argument against it. I'm gonna kind of take it back now because I think they've had their time to prove that they just couldn't do it. I want to say like I always said that like Phase 4 is like the new Phase 1, so it's gonna be rusty. It's gonna be weird because they got to really tie it like lead it together. But after having at least read half of that MCU book, I still didn't finish the other half. But having read half of it and seeing how
Ooh,
much
I
of a
forgot about that.
yeah, it's really good insight. Like I got a lot. I forgot I got distracted, but having seen how much of a fluke the MCU was, like it was not really planned. It just happened to fall into place. You would think they would have had a plan, like all right, that happened to work out. Let's do it this time.
Yeah,
They just didn't, and I think they just kind of hoped that luck would just continue forever, and they really dropped the ball on it. And it's like we have 14 different like storylines. No one's connected whatsoever.
they could just hire the people that write the fucking comics to help them out, but
I think they do a lot of times too, but like
well, that's just one of the big things. Like, was it Rector or the dude that did the Hawkeye comic that the series was based on?
which
was
is
a
really
big
good.
talking
That
point
runs
there.
really good.
Yeah, no, it's excellent. But he's like,
Was
yeah,
that guy-
they never consulted me or anything. They
They
just
took the
kinda
logo?
those in they took the logo and they took the basic storyline and they just ran with it.
Yeah.
Like, just talk to these people. Let them like proofread. Let them submit ideas. Give them a few $1,000, whatever. Give them writer credits. Do something.
Right.
You're Disney. You can afford this. Quit being cheap.
You know what that reminded me of was that part in Invincible in season 2 where they took a moment to just be meta and talk about, hey, this is why everything's
Yeah.
been kind of fucked right now.
And that was I think you should leave. Tim Robinson.
Oh, was that? I didn't go back and listen to that.
Yep.
David, in a part, did you watch Invincible yet?
Not season 2 now.
There's a part where they're like at a convention and they're like, he's like, hey, you're my favorite artist. When are you gonna make that cartoon on this? And then they take a whole like 2 minutes to be like, well, you see, animation's really tough, and this is why it's so expensive. And if you ever notice how, like, when there's conversations, you see like the back of a character's head, or why there's a long still of this, it's because we're saving money doing that, and that's why it's taking so long. But because we're saving money that way, that's why the fight scenes always look so good. So we're getting there. We promise, we'll get there.
And the whole scene is them doing those tropes, like hiding the mouth or showing it from like a wide angle.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
But it was. I thought that was a really cute but like honest way of being like, this is why it's taken so long, and this is why
Yeah,
it's
meta
so tough.
commentary.
Yeah, I like when there's like meta commentary addressing people directly, but like in a not like super like
Condescending way.
condescending, yeah, or left field. Like, oh, this does not feel like it. Just feels like you want to rant for a second. This felt like an actual like silly like in universe gag.
Well, it was on. That's also in the comics as well, but
Oh,
it's
that's
phrased
great.
a little bit differently. Yeah.
For comics then, right?
Yep.
Love it.
Mhm.
But yeah, so next week we'll talk about Longlegs and the rest of the boys. See how that goes. When do episodes debut?
I think it said the 18th, so Wednesday,
Oh shit! All right, cool. So I gotta watch it now.
Thursday. Yeah.
Let's see. Games I've played. I played a little bit of Defiant X. So if you want to hop in on that, let me know.
X-Defiant.
X Defiant, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you? What are your feelings on that one?
I like it. It's a slick game. Mechanics feel good. The abilities feel cool. Like I have. It doesn't like strike me as like I fucking love this game, but it's like a really cool like this is pretty good.
Yeah, especially for a Ubisoft game.
Yeah.
IMO, because I'm just not a huge fan of them. I'm not even a Siege guy or anything like that. But yeah, no, I have the same opinions. It's slick, it's fast, it's fun, free. So I mean, even
Mhm.
better.
Yep. So if you want to hop in on some of those, I'm down with that.
sure.
Why do I feel like I was playing something else? I don't know. All right, let's hop into a handful of things. Oh, there was a couple things. I forgot to mention this during your whole anime talk. It's cute that Evo's having an anime night. Did you see that, David?
No,
Kels?
No.
On Saturday before Street Fighter 3, they're gonna
Just
play the Street Fighter
dedicated
2
to, like,
animated movie.
Blaze Blue. Oh,
Hell yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Someone immediately commented, "I can't wait for 49 minutes and 28 seconds for everyone to check out," because that's when Chun-Li's shower scene happens. And someone's like, "Damn, you got that memorized?" They're like, "Yup."
Man, I'm so bummed that that new Street Fighter movie's kind of like falling apart at the seams, too.
Is it?
Yeah, because it had Raka Raka attached to it to direct, and they're off the project now. They're not no longer attached.
That's a bummer.
And I was really hyped for that because I mean, fuck yeah, Talk to Me was sick. Their whole shtick on YouTube was like over the top fights and being incredibly funny while doing it. So I would love to see that.
Nice. Also, I forgot.
You know what was actually surprisingly really good for a live action adaptation was that Assassin's Fist miniseries. Actually,
Haven't seen
I quite like that one.
Which one?
It was originally like a YouTube series that was like a mini series for it, called Assassin's Fist, and it's like a prequel series set when Ryu and Ken are still training with Goken. And then they made like a mini sequel to it with the release of Street Fighter V, where they basically did like a prequel to Nash becoming zombified as like a mini series, and it was the same folks.
I'm gonna pull this up because I thought this was funny as well, but I'm upset because I just lost this tab. Did you guys see that video going around where that guy just punches the guy with the camera after a prank?
Yeah, I seen that shit.
David, have you seen that?
No.
I can't find it.
What does he say? He's like, click.
Yeah. Yo, I got it.
All right, while you're looking for that, I got to.
Oh my god!
No surprise.
Jesus H Christ!
The
That's-
piss master.
I know, man. Fucking hell. That's a goddamn new record. I just found out Brian Cranston voiced Fei Long in the Street Fighter movie. Interesting.
Yeah, I just found that out too.
I didn't know that.
Literally right now.
Today I learned. Also, yeah, Barry Keoghan was is in that movie.
Kyogen. There we go.
Yeah.
Kyo.
He's I recognize that face all the time too.
Yeah, that dude fucked a hole in the dirt in Saltburn.
He was in the Green Knight. I think he came in there too.
Yeah. No. No. Dev Patel. You see his cum in that one.
Oh, okay. I know he was near the scene where someone's cum was being shown.
Yeah. No. It's very close to that. No, it's so fucking funny. Like, because I went and seen that with one of my friends, and I didn't realize how quiet that movie would be. Because it was one of those theaters where you can order food, so I ordered nachos. So I'm just sitting there crunching, just
Oh no.
during the quietest fucking movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then it gets to that part, and I leaned to my buddy. I was like, "This is the second movie that I've ever seen where someone ejaculates, and then you see the ejaculate." I was like, "That's 2 movies too many. Why is this happening?"
the other one, Call Me by Your
times to
Name?
me?" Oh, I didn't realize that was in that. So there's 3. No, the other one was End of Evangelion. Shinji jerks off, and you see his cum.
Oh, now you got 3.
Oh, Timothy Chalamet and the cannibal, isn't it? That's in that one.
Army Cannibal Hammer.
Yep.
So weird.
Army eats people hammer.
There was one of the videos I was watching it was a podcast, the Small Town Murder. I need to subscribe to their Patreon eventually, but like I guess one of their recent episodes on Patreon was about this cop that they didn't know what to do with them because he just talked about how much he really wanted to eat a girl, and not in the sexual way either, just like salt and pepper chomping. But like that's not
Jesus Christ.
that's not a crime to just say or feel that, I guess, right? Like, so I guess I don't know where this is or what that is. I know it's in the episode eventually, but like they're wondering Is that a crime? Do we need to keep this guy on the police force? Because he's not done anything wrong, but like he says everything wrong. It sounds like a The Boys joke right there, though. By the way, I would love to be in the writing room for The Boys, or
For real though, that would be so fucking fun.
right, and just think of just dumbass soups. Like, what's a dumb idea for a soup? Let's do that.
Yeah, like there's that dude that Dog Knot. His thing is he fucked a dog.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck does that mean? What do you mean he fucked a dog?
I like how that joke came around too. It wasn't like, didn't he eat a dog? No, he fucked a dog. Yeah, I just love how dumb the powers are. Seeing that guy just split himself was so fucking funny too.
Yeah.
The Boys is like
multiple
one of the only ones where it's heavily skewed against
Dang, it's like
men in
28
terms of
degrees
nudity.
Goddamn
man. Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
see so much cock. You see some asshole too.
Fucking sweating
Yeah, I'm
balls.
trying to think, and like the only time I remember seeing tits in The Boys was during like Herogasm,
Yeah.
maybe. There's boobies, but other than that, it's like
It's all
gratuitous
it's
cock
called The
and
Boys
balls.
for a reason. You're seeing a
That's
lot
true.
of boys.
And that's fair too, because I mean we've had Game of Thrones and shit like that for
Oh
far
yeah, I
too
don't give
long,
a
which-
shit. It's just
no,
funny.
for sure. It's incredibly funny. I'd never realized that until now.
Yeah, you see whole ass's dong hanging out there.
Yeah, multiple.
But is it blue?
No, but you do see asshole.
No.
That's not blue, unfortunately, as well.
Yeah, and they confirmed that was not Carl Urban's ass.
I was gonna ask. I didn't want to look it
Damn.
up, but I was gonna look it up.
Yeah,
God
no.
dang.
I think
That's a
Amazon.
CGI asshole.
Well, they said it was a models, and I want to say they said it was done like over 100 times to get like the perfect picture for it or some shit like
So they
that.
got a stunt asshole.
Yeah, they got a
Uh,
stunt asshole for it.
You
for
know what?
sure.
If they asked Carl Urban nicely, I'm sure he would have done it though.
Oh yeah, I 100% would.
I'm sure
Yeah,
his
they
talent
would.
agent was like, "You're not doing that."
Yeah, you're not showing.
I was gonna
holes,
say,
bro.
fuck it. If I'm making The Boys money, I'm showing my asshole. I don't give a fuck. Let's
Yeah,
go.
this is Amazon money. They got money to pay me.
Right. David, I put it in the chat for you. So here's the backstory. Some silly little TikTokers, as a lot of dumb stories begin. We're going around this mall, asking everyone, "Hey, what's your most traumatic experience?" Which is already stupid. And first off, if you stop and answer them, I don't think you should to begin with. But like, people are gonna do stuff, and it's whatever, I guess. So they do that, and they stop this person out there and say, "What's your most traumatic experience?" And they go, well, they thought about it for a second, like, well, my mom used to like throw around and break stuff a lot, and that was pretty bad. And then one of the boys just goes, "Womp womp," and that was that. And then I guess this other guy, who's actually a YouTuber, I guess got a call. I guess he went on and made a whole video like talking about like, here's exactly what happened. And he was like, well, I dropped my partner off at the mall while I'm at Men's Warehouse, and I get a call saying like, hey, these kids just stopped me and they did this, and they asked for most and they just like laughed at it. And dude saw red. He's like, all right, cool. And he's not a big guy. He's like a pretty nerdy kind of regular ass dude.
Yeah.
Like he would fit in like if we had a fourth rectangle here, he's on this podcast easy. Like he's not a big dude. He is probably like my size. And so, but it's the fucking dopest thing, right? Because we didn't see that first video at first. All we saw was the second video. Second video is just like these kids going up to this guy. And this is the other guy. The guy's in the YouTube. He's like in a graphic tee, has a hat on, looks pretty nerdy. But then they're about to shake his hand. He's like, and he goes up. He's like, I'm not gonna shake your hand. I don't know what my most traumatic. And now he's walking towards the camera guy. He just says, I don't know what my most traumatic experience is, but I know what yours is gonna be. And immediately, just bam.
Hell yeah.
And it was like, dude, that's so hard. And he's like, and he goes on the video. He's like, look, I'll admit, everyone's telling me that was the most badass thing ever. It's because I thought about it, guys. Like I had time to drive to the mall and think about what I was gonna say. So that's the only reason why. I swear I'm not that witty or not that cool. I just thought of something along the way, and that's what happened. I'm like, nah, dude, you're badass for that. Hell yeah.
Yeah. No. Fuck yeah.
But yeah, shout outs to them. That was funny. Anyway,
On
yes,
a
David.
similar note, actually, this is more. This is definitely not me. Me being badass. This is just kind of sad. So I finally have reached the point in my Taekwondo training where I'm doing sparring training. And I've already injured an opponent.
Uh-oh.
And I feel really bad for it because it wasn't an example of me like just fucking destroying this dude. It was an unfortunate situation of this guy not being ready for sparring training and him having an already existing ankle injury, much in the similar capacity that my partner has. So I feel already by association very guilty for it. I rolled his fucking ankle, and dude wasn't able to walk after because basically what our teacher was having us try. I can't remember the Korean word for it, but our whatever the Korean equivalent of sensei is. We were going through our routes there, and he was like, "All right, we're gonna try practicing spacing," and I'm like, "Oh, treat this like footsies, got it." So I started like, he and I both started very defensively, and he's like, "Oh, y'all can't get any strikes that way." I'm like, "Oh, actually treat this aggressively, got it." So I just basically started running at the dude, and he did not know how to handle that. And he tripped, spun around, really fucked up his ankle. And the whole time that he's recovering, he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I've had shattered my ankle in the past." So I remember going through the physical therapy and having to do all these exercises, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, I know all those exercises. I had to watch my partner go through those when she shattered her ankle. Oh fuck." So I felt really guilty and really fucking bad for this dude. And I hope that tomorrow is us resuming sparring training again. I hope he is okay.
Says David's letting his demons out. You heard what he says?
No, my genuinely my trainer. So my trainer is a wild dude. Genuinely the nicest person you'll ever meet. But he is a 4th degree black belt. And his trainer is the highest rank. And he's someone that's cross trained in both Taekwondo and Judo. And is the 70-year-old dude that is just bloodthirsty. And that's how they
14
train.
black belts or 14 Dans in Taekwondo too. That's insane.
Yes. And this dude is the highest rank in both.
Yeah.
And so he's teaching me. And I guess apparently what they do for my sect of Taekwondo, because I train under the Blue Wave, which originated in Vermont. By basically a dude who during the Vietnam War went overseas, learned Taekwondo from his time in Seoul, and then brought it to America. And I guess what they regularly do is like every month in Vermont, they basically have a fight club where everyone of every rank is welcome to come. And it's basically just one night a month where it's literally everyone fucking throwing hands. And everyone just gets to fucking just fight all fucking night. And my teacher wants me to go ahead. And once I have learned enough of the forms to qualify as actually being trained enough to where my style resembles Taekwondo proper and not just someone who is trained in wrestling that is imitating Taekwondo, he wants me to start going to those. And I might go just for one, I want to go to Vermont anyway, so that might be a state I move to. But also just because knowing me, I want to do competitive. If I'm going to stick to something, I want to do it competitively. But he explained it to me that there's the competitive sports of the martial art, and then there's actually this one night where everyone just actually fucking throws hands. He's like, "What do you want me to train you for?" And I'm like, "Oh, I want to be trained for actually fucking throwing hands. Go." So that is the training I'm going down.
Good luck.
I mean, I've committed with that. I've been doing it for like 4 or 5 months now. Lost a bit of weight from it. A little bit more agile. Have some kind of foot movement abilities that I didn't have before. So
I saw you walk around and stuff on your floor.
It might be something that you might find entertainment in, but there's this organization called Combat Karate. It's kind of like the hybrid. It's sport karate, taekwondo. It's kind of like where a lot of those martial arts cross over, but it's not like point fighting. It's legit like MMA, kickboxing rules, like trying to take each other's heads off, and it's fucking awesome to see some of those Taekwondo guys be able to throw hands out there, really take advantage of a lot of what's available.
Can't
That's
hear a
kinda
single
neat.
word you just said. Say it again.
Me or Kels?
You. Your
Oh.
mic didn't pick it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
spun back around again. That's
Oh, there
weird.
you go. All right, say it again.
No, it's kind of fucking neat. I'll have to look into that. Because that's part of the reason I never got into formal martial arts before, and why I tried to get into wrestling is I'm very competitive, and I definitely enjoy a good throwdown. But wrestling was a fun way to kind of do it in a safe environment. Until I realized that the traveling life is not for me. Like, I like traveling. I don't like the idea of basically being on the road for 3 months, actually getting to enjoy my home for like 2 weeks, and then going back on the road. And now I am unfortunately in a very committed relationship where I have posited the idea of potentially going back into that. And my partner, unfortunately, I've been having her watch Dark Side of the Ring, so she's been seeing all the worst case scenarios of the wrestling business. She's like, absolutely not. I will fucking leave you. You are not going down that route. You will not get brain damage and fucking kill me. I'm like, okay.
Oh, good talk.
Yeah.
So news-wise, what I saw real quick, and add something if you want to in there. As of now, I guess the Nintendo Switch is the longest-lasting Nintendo console without being swapped.
Hell yeah. I mean, the Switch has had a good run, and again, I've said this many times before. Our console gens are fine to run for like 10 years. Let's be
Not
honest.
the Switch.
They're-
Switch is.
The Switch is long in the tooth. The Switch needs an upgrade, but for PS5's fucking
Series X,
X,
yeah, I don't. They've still never like. There's still very rarely games that I'm like, oh, this feels like now. It just feels like kind of like an extension of last gen.
yeah, there's very few games where I'm like, oh, this is pushing the hardware, and more of a situation like, oh, this is just shittily optimized.
Yep.
We need to start making it more of an okay thing for console lifespans to be longer, especially where we're also in that weird thing where for the first 3 years of both consoles, they weren't really available because of COVID and everything else.
Yeah.
So it feels weird to be like, oh, we're like almost done the hardware cycle, as it feels like we've only just started it. And especially when in the case of the PS5 and Series X, there's still so many cross-platform games that it's like, what's the fucking point?
Before we get to there, quick question. On top of your head, don't think about it. April, you have 5 seconds to answer. April says, "What would your wrestler name be?"
Oh, I've already thought about that. I would be a Lucha Spellslinger theme.
What's the name?
The name, fuck, I had it.
top of your head, just whatever you could think of.
Fuck, I'm trying to remember what it was. But I think it was something in the vein of Lucha Spellslinger, because I had this whole gimmick planned out of being kind of somewhere in between like a Super Dragon and Undertaker, of having like this dark undead gimmick, but still kind of this mass wrestler persona.
I'll take it.
And that is what I would be.
Did any of you guys see that Nintendo published horror game tease that circulated last week,
Yeah,
like
what
right
was it?
afterwards?
Yeah,
Emio or some
Yeah.
shit. Emilio.
I'm intrigued, but I have to see more.
I always get bummed whenever I see like a brand new horror thing because I'm like, damn, I wish I thought of that. It's always cool, like the bag over the head with like the really cool like design on it, like the face out on it. I was like, oh, that'd been an easy horror film, but now I can't do that because everyone's gonna think I'm stealing it, which I technically am, I guess. But Nintendo making that, I hope
it's a homage. That's the whole thing about horror, dude. You'll
yeah,
be
that's
fine.
true. I keep wanting to be original though. That's why I like Jordan Peele on it because he tries to go so original with it. That's how I feel. I don't, because like right now I have multiple ideas. I'm trying to make scripts for the students for short films. I want to give them like a choice of like 4. That's probably being incredibly generous now. I'm like looking at 2 maybe, but I don't like making lazy scripts. I don't like the idea of like, yeah, just pump that out. It feels weird to me. And when you look at horror movies and just how they're all just cheap scares and stuff like that, I'm like, that.
Yeah.
I could not feel good about that. I understand it's an easy pay, and it sells
No,
all right.
truly, outside of honestly Asian cinema, I've gotten so bored over the years of fucking horror movies, which
Should
is
watch
one of my
Long
favorite
Legs.
genres.
I
So
mean,
I-
that's
I do
where-
need to see that.
If you watch
that's
that
where I
before next
feel-
week, we'll talk about it.
That's where I feel like A24 and like studios like Neon kind of pick up that slack. You know, they kind of like take what conventional horror is and kind of inject it with a lot more of like a thriller element. You know,
Who put out Nope?
Nope was A24, I believe.
Yeah, that was a Jordan Peele venture, right?
Yep.
Universal did.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, that's right. Because they had like a at their scare nights, they had like a haunt for it.
Oh, did they? That's cool. Let me see.
Oh yeah, and Monkey Paw. I think that's Jordan Peele's like own thing.
Yeah.
Is Longleg streaming or?
No.
Nah, it's theaters
Oh.
right now. It'll probably be.
Yeah, it's not
Friday.
gonna happen then. I'll see it as soon as it's streaming, but
Okay, because yeah, I want to support some more original films like that. I still like the theater.
I
Us,
rarely go to theater.
that's fair. Us was also Universal as well, so he got the fuck out of Blumhouse, and Blumhouse still was just clinging on to the fucking from the producers of Get Out.
Right. It's so funny.
It's, oh, actually, wait, was oh yeah, no. It was a Blumhouse.
Have you watched The Sadness, David? Speaking of
Not yet.
A24,
No, I've been told I would really enjoy that
that's
though.
another fucked up ass film.
I forgot to mention. April Brony said Kinds of Kindness. I did hear good stuff about that, so that's on the list to watch eventually.
Yeah, Yorgos, the dude that did The Lobster and Poor Things.
Oh, he did that one?
Yep.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kinds of Kindness is Yorgos.
Damn, that was a quick turnaround. Poor Things is great.
Yep, Yorgos. Yeah, that's why I was kind of thinking too, because he also has another one in the works too. I keep seeing stuff come out for it.
Damn, well, I guess you know what? Man, he must have just like had that quick turnaround because if it stars Emma Stone, then I guess they got along really well on Poor Things. Just went straight at it again.
Right. Yeah, because I haven't watched Poor Things, but I like The Lobster.
Poor
so-
Things is great. Let's see. What am I looking at with this? Poor Things is great. Obviously,
Oh,
we
he
mentioned
is,
we're gonna watch Killing of a Sacred Deer. I think you can skip The Favorite. I didn't really care for it.
Bugonia is his new
Is
one. That's
Emma
next
Stone gonna be
year.
in that one too?
I think so, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons are the main characters. And they're in
And they're in Kinds of Kindness,
Kinds
too.
of Kindness, yeah.
And then Willem Dafoe was also in Poor Things. Yeah, I guess he just kind of found his crew and just like, all right, let's just knock some out real quick. Good for him.
The old Wes Anderson, Scorsese vibes.
I mean, Poor Things got Emma Stone her flowers finally, so. I
That's
think-
true for sure. Stick around with that.
Yeah. Damn, it kind of it's already out of theaters, I'm sure.
I think it just
Yeah,
hit
it was
not too long
last
ago.
month.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably be on streaming in like the next week.
Yeah, by tomorrow probably. Let me see. Is it still? I can check to see if it's got like one random showing somewhere. I think it was like last week too. Oh nope, it's still There's one random showing at 9:10. Yeah, at 9:45 or 9. Okay, yeah, I'll probably go watch that then. Let's see. Is Riot canceled their Smash clone?
Yeah, Smash Clone got canceled.
Yeah, because they basically looked at what was going on in
Multiverses.
multiverses, went "Ew," and then moved on with their lives.
Which doesn't make sense to me because I think Multiverses at launch, or the initial launch, I guess, popped off, and I feel like they've dropped the ball since.
Yeah, and that's probably why they canceled it, is with them immediately just killing it and then
It's
not
weird
being able
that
to
you
recover
look
the
at, like,
success.
It's kind of weird that you look at the worst case whenever you have Smash right there. You can see like,
Rivals of Ether and stuff like that that do fine.
Yeah, right.
I think even the Nickelodeon one sold all right enough to like warrant a sequel right away.
Yeah, it's even the sequel. It periodically has like little resurgences here and there.
I mean, you got to figure though that it's a situation where Riot has been struggling to find anything and everything to finally branch out their reach beyond just League, because that's still their only successful game after like 15 some odd years is
Valorant.
League of Legends. And while they have other games that they've released, nothing is making them the money that League did. And honestly, League is kind of done.
I think Valorant's making them kind of like
Let's
just
say
dirty
Valorant's
money.
pretty successful.
Is Valorant actually popping off, or is it just okay?
It's on consoles now too, so that's even bigger. They have
I'll tell you this, for
or it's on
being
Xbox at least. I don't know
a-
about PlayStation.
for being a PC only thing, you'd be surprised at how many like high schoolers have come to me asking if my esports league had Valorant in it.
For high schoolers and younger audiences, sure, that makes sense. I know for a lot of older PC gaming audiences, they fucking hated it because, again, it's fucking bricking computers.
That and it's nothing new. It's Counter-Strike, but more aggressively monetized.
Yeah.
In the sense, like at least Counter-Strike, you can kind of like sell your shit, trade it, get money off of it. Valorant's just like, give me $100 for this dragon skin, and no, you'll never get that money back.
Hey, PSA in terms of never getting something back. The final wave of Xbox 360 XBLA games have gone on sale.
Oh, shit.
So check that list out. Heavy discounts all around. I'm skimming through
Yeah.
it right now, seeing what there is on there.
A Pepperoni says, honestly, if they do more shows and movies with their universe, they might make more money. See, that was the same thing with Overwatch, right? But they just kind of dropped the ball there. And
But it's
eventually-
also one of those things. I mean, for Blizzard, yeah, Blizzard. I genuinely don't know why Blizzard doesn't make more fucking adaptations of their shit.
It was the biggest ball drop, I think. That I don't think it's I maybe it's a stretch to say, but I feel like how the Overwatch IP was treated, not even just video game wise, but I feel like it might be one of the biggest ball drops in terms of entertainment because they could
100%.
it was such a massive franchise for being a singular game, and it could have really popped off with a movie and spin out with a show and all that, like so easy.
Yup. Absolutely. But yeah, kind of the same thing with was it Arcane? Didn't they confirm like the second season's the last
Yeah.
season? They're only
Next
doing
one's
2
come up as
seasons
last
of it?
one.
Yep. And I seen that those showrunners, that was another piece of news. They said that they wanted to do a Vagabond adaptation. It's like, fuck yeah, let's go.
You know what though?
Give me-
I'm down with shows ending more.
No, for sure. Especially if they can get a hold of Vagabond somehow. If Netflix can get those rights, fuck yeah, give them that.
Right.
Beautiful goddamn manga.
David, anything, Kels, anything you guys wanted to address before we're out of here?
Yeah, did you guys see what has been mentioned about BioShock 4?
Yeah.
Open world.
Open World Antarctic. You had me in Antarctic. You lost me at Open World.
Yep.
I think it goes to show that a lot of these companies complaining about size of budget can also learn to just not have to make everything open world.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Imagine that.
It's
That's
fucking
kind
wild.
That's kind of one of the things that I'm really starting to appreciate more and more about Obsidian, especially like at first, like what was it, Outer Worlds felt kind of like weird, like how not necessarily segmented it was, but how like not like completely open map and open world it was compared to like New Vegas or any
Right.
other Elder Scrolls game. But now looking back on it, it's like I appreciate that. I understand they're scaling it back and they're probably cutting back a shit ton of money, and they're able to focus resources how a lot better that way.
Like it really, Obsidian, now they're not paycheck to paycheck. It's probably the only dev studio I've seen that have been like have taken that as like, all right, let's hunker down and really own this shit and like manage our projects, because Grounded, Pentiment, Outer Worlds 2, and
About coming up.
yeah, four projects since being absolved from Microsoft.
Yeah, that's a good point. Obsidian is probably Microsoft's only success story.
I'd say so, or their biggest one at least.
I mean, what else has succeeded?
Let me take a look at their studios really quick, because there's so many at this point.
You're right. Yeah, it's. Fuck.
Tango game. Oh fuck. Let's see. Playground Games.
Oh, Forza. That's probably.
All right, Forza, yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
Turn
probably,
10
the only
and
big one.
Playground Games, I think, have been topped. I think we're still forgetting that Rare is still popping off with Sea of Thieves.
Oh.
Is my
Yeah,
I
I
remember
wouldn't call
that
that
shit
popping-
was
ah,
that shit was on
yeah.
top of PlayStation top selling list.
That's
That's
so fucking
fair.
funny to me.
Well, top selling is a free game, but
Sea of Thieves?
yeah.
Let's see.
I wonder if that means that they're buying like a starter pack or something like that.
I don't think Sea of Thieves a free to play game?
I think
Yeah.
it is.
Really? I didn't even know that. Then.
I don't think it was originally. I think
It was
on,
definitely
like,
not originally.
I think it was like one of those things like get it on Game Pass.
No, it's $40.
Oh shit.
No, all right, fair enough then. Kudos to them, I guess.
Yeah, they got 3 different. It could also be this. There's 4 different types with premium and deluxe edition, but I mean that competes with everything else. So I don't see why that would be any different. So
Yeah.
no, Sea of Thieves is popping off pretty well still.
All right, fair enough. Kudos to them.
Yeah, for sure.
It's one of those things that I guess if you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. But
Like I said, Sea of Thieves always seemed cool to me. Like I bummed I missed out on that window. I would love to eventually maybe one day go back to it and just fuck around with it because there's just so much content in that game now. But is what it is. But yeah, I'd say those ones. So Obsidian, Playground, Turn 10, and Rare. I think Ninja Theory's probably a little bit weird because remember they had Bleeding Edge.
Oh yeah.
no, yeah, that game we kind of had fun with, honestly, for like a couple days, and I was like, all right, that's it.
That was the collective of the internet.
Yeah.
Mojang. They've always been.
Oh god.
You always forget Microsoft owns Mojang.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely do.
I can't. We can't really say much about Double Fine yet because they've not really. I'm surprised. I'm surprised, but not surprised that we haven't seen. I was hoping we'd see like Double Fine be kind of like Obsidian, like, hey, you got your money now, let's do that and let's start knocking it out. But then you remember how Broken Age was weird with the Kickstarter, how that all played out, and
No, I don't remember that.
they made the game, and it kind of did that whole because it was the first Kickstarter success, if you remember that. It was the first big breakout Kickstarter. They made the game, and then it got too big, so they released the game, half of the game. If you had the game, or if you Kickstarted it, you got the game, but if not, you could buy the game, half complete. Because Broken Age is 2 different stories.
Yeah.
And so people would sell the game, and that's how they pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, that's how they funded the last half of the game, was through sales of half the game.
That's wild. That's actually one of my partner's favorite games. She had me go through that during one of the Extra Lives we did together. I did not realize that was basically split up at one point.
Yeah, so it was only I've not played that game in age. I need to go back to it eventually because it's been.
It was really good. I
It was.
thought it was a really good story.
I mean, I've not played it since it came out, which was what now? Let's see.
Danish years?
Yeah, it was 10 years in January. Yeah, it was up until like that halfway point. And then it was cut off, and then the part 2 didn't come out till about a year and a half later almost. Which they needed to use that to push more sales to finish up the development on that. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. Anyway, anything else?
Lydia and Takeda had gameplay this week too. That was really cool to see. Really interesting too that they're both fighting games that were like easily everyone's most favorite from the game that they're introduced into.
Huh.
Yeah.
Or I feel like Lydia was definitely one of the favorites from 7, and then Takeda was everyone's favorite of like the new generation of fighters.
Yeah, I
who's
was
in there.
genuinely surprised that Takeda wasn't in any of the newer Mortal Kombat's.
Yeah, it was really weird because he was just one of the most hype ones, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll leave that guy back there." It's like, all right, NetherRealm, you're just gonna charge us for him again later, and lo and behold. But yeah, the Prime Minister of Poland gets to come back and beat some fucking ass, and
Hell yeah.
which kind of goes back to like they could have held off a week and showed this at Evo. Was Evo just like too expensive, like to show the trailer there or something? Like I don't understand how that works. Or maybe we'll get more. I don't know.
It might be one of those things where Harada has made some comments about it. I mean, Harada's making a lot of comments as of
Yeah.
late. Man has too much free time, honestly. But the impression I got was that when you go specifically to Evo, it's a great way to specifically talk to your direct market, but a lot of companies want to reach beyond their existing market.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things that if you know you want to make sure that you get your core audience hyped, you go to Evo and you announce shit there and you show shit there. But if you're really hoping to reach for a lot more success beyond the core, you do it outside of that.
You think we get a guest character from Tekken finally?
I can see that happening. I don't know if it'll be in the immediate future, but I would be surprised if we didn't get guest characters.
I mean, I'm assuming we're get the character announced. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but
Oh, for the third fighter?
yeah,
Or
at
even
least the
fully-
fourth, whatever when it is in the. Because we haven't.
No, I don't think we'll get anything like new until after this, and I'm pretty sure they already confirmed that the first season's all returning.
Interesting. That'd be weird if that was the case.
I mean, think of the
Returning
massive
guest
legacy.
character. We get Geese.
We get Geese. We get Negan is coming back.
Oh god, I fucking
Imagine.
hope. I love Negan.
All right, I think that's about it, right?
Pepperoni mentioned Boogie. Yeah, that dude.
Oh.
I guess faking cancer.
Oh, it's
Fucking piece
fucking
of shit.
wild.
Yeah, it's so wild.
Yeah, I put myself to that and watched that whole episode.
Oh, you watched it? I
Yeah.
seen like the clips.
Yeah, I watched it, unfortunately. It was 3 hours on top of the other one that was like also about 3 hours of him saying that he has it, he doesn't have it, and it's pretty much confirmed. But everyone's like, "But you confirmed it." He's like, "Because they're treating me like it, or they're treating it as if I have it, so therefore I do have it." Then had his brother on, who's doctorate, but not even a doctor in that. He has like his doctorate in what is it? I think Department of Health and Education. And he's like, well, I can say that he has this, and I'm like, can you read this part off? And he's like, well, I can't. I don't understand what that's saying. And they're like, well, can you show it? And Boogie's like dying on this hill of like, I'm not gonna show you my medical records, which is like, yeah, that's fair, but like, you can like do all this and like show that part. And I guess all of his papers say that he's claiming now is saying it's all it says is I have increased amount of red blood cells.
No, fuck that. If you go crying cancer on the internet, you should obviously anything that would directly dox you censor, but you can show the diagnosis.
I if you go on the internet and say that and get money in return for that, then yeah, I feel like you kind of have an obligation. Like if you're bringing it on the internet for business, then that's kind of on you to back it up. But if you keep it to yourself, keep it to yourself. Don't have to share it. Like that's fine. But like as with all lolcows, they overshare their life to an extreme degree, and then it bites them back, and they get upset about it. It's like that meme where they're on the bike and they just like put the stick in the bike. You're like, ow, why is everyone doing this to me?
Yep.
We'll see. But that's also it's a drama alert podcast, right? So it's like they're gonna spin up for drama views, because right now Akeem started saying like, tomorrow I'm gonna tell you whether or not I'm firing him or not. It's taken me a long time for this decision. I was like, shut up, just say it.
Yeah, like shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever. It's funny to laugh at people sometimes. They're all stupid. Let's see. He says yeah. Then saying he's getting something. That, yeah. He says he's gonna get the bone marrow check to see if if it confirms it. But everyone's like, why are you saying it confirms it? And then there's a whole back. It's literally that's how it's a round. It's a circular conversation. And then yeah, then this comes a week off of Boogie doing his crypto scam that he got 10K for.
And his whole thing was like, "Oh, I need this money for my health stuff." It's
Yeah.
Like,
And it's like, oh, you did it. He's like, I did it because it was funny. No one's trying to make money off it. They're like, then it's the whole thing. It's so funny though. Anyway, that's it. That's the podcast. Shouts to anyone that's still watching. Pepperoni in the chat.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We'll for sure be live on at least Sunday for some Evo stuff. I'll be on there. David will drop in and out. Kels, I don't know if you're on it for the full time, but I'll be on there for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll get some games going, hang out there too. And we're gonna watch Long Legs. So everyone watch Long Legs. Get that movie some money. All right, that's the recording.
Woo.
Goodbye, stream.
See ya.